Yo, welcome to SmallmouthCrush Live. I'm your host, Travis Manson, and our co-host, Epic Eric, is coming up shortly.
What happened with
Add
that?
to the stage, and there he is.
Oh man, you guys should have been behind the scenes live. That was pretty funny for a moment. Remember we used to have those hysterical stuff going on
Yeah.
before the show would start? It was always very fantastic. We're like, why did we do that on the live?
I don't know.
Neither do
I
I.
don't know.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, overwhelmed.
Still
A lot going on.
What the heck? It's like week after week, overwhelmed. When is it going to end?
I don't think it ends anymore for me. This is my new reality that I created, and I got stuff to do between rigging up. Like right now, while we're doing the live, I'm going to have to rig some rods, so excuse me. But we'll talk what baits are working and all that while we're doing it.
Okay.
We got one of our regulars going to be joining us tonight, our buddy JP, and of course, Epic Eric, who want to hear all about your week and your new boat and what's going on at the Bass Lab. Before we get into all that, guys, I want to say thank you to Monster Bass. They're actually sponsoring this week's show. Of course, Monster Bass is a monthly subscription. Of course, they also have a bunch of great tackle, whether it be tackle boxes, terminal tackle, baits, those bags. I love everything over at monsterbass.com. You can go check them out. And we got kind of a, what's it called when you have a big announcement, but you do more of a soft announcement? Is that like a soft opening?
Soft opening. Yeah, you could soft launch a product. Yeah, exactly. Soft opening.
Well, we're going to try something here, guys.
I love it.
If you love what we're doing here, if you love what we're doing here at Smallmouth Crush, and you want to help support this show, the videos that I don't put out anymore, and everything else that's going on over here, actually, I'm going to take that back. I do have 3 videos, and now we have another one in the queue ready to go, and I'm going to get those out hopefully this week. They are coming. We got a couple tournament videos and some fun fishing videos and just some good educational videos. So we're going to get that going. But also in the link under the description, if you go on YouTube and you hit the description box, you're going to see a link that takes you to Tackle Warehouse. I'm teaming up with Tackle Warehouse as a little trial here to see what kind of, I guess, interest we can get through that link through this platform. And I know you guys buy a lot from Tackle Warehouse. I'm still working with other companies as well. We're not changing any of that at this time. But I would love it if you remember and say you need a bag of Senkos and some Beast Coast open water sniper jigs. If you could just open up one of my recent lives or some of my videos moving forward, click the Tackle Warehouse main link right in the description and just start your shopping, and that'll help track. I do appreciate that. So,
do you get a discount?
No.
Okay. So what's the Smallmouth Crush 15? That's just Great Lakes Finesse and Pratco.
That's for lurenet.com. That's for all Pratco branded baits. So War
Pratco.
Eagle,
yes,
Yum, Great Lakes Finesse. There you can get 15%
Booyah.
off.
Bomber.
Booyah. Bomber.
Smithwick.
Yeah.
Uncle Frank. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So
you're still with the real shot, right? But you're just testing this out. People ask.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just testing the waters here. That's all.
Yeah. Affiliate marketing, as Jamie so astutely pointed out.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go.
Heck yeah, man.
All right. What's new? You got a new boat? I saw you. You had you had the birthday girl out in the boat recently.
I sure did, man.
By the way, last week we gave a shout out to your wife. I don't know if anyone reached out on Instagram.
Tell me how, why? How did it come up?
I told everybody to say happy birthday to her.
Oh, man, Instagram. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. Yeah, it was a big birthday week, man. We had a great time. It was just me and her, man. So we got to get together and do the maiden voyage on the Veer, man. Cruised around the lake. It's really fun. I got to tell you. How
fast does that thing go?
They'll never hear or see me coming because I'll never catch up to them. 4.5 miles an hour.
That's pretty
Nope.
good. That's like having a. Why
It's
wouldn't
just
you
like
just put a trolling motor on it then?
It's just a little, because the trolling motor would be right where she was laying down, man. It's kind of like where she likes to hang out, you know, read a book,
Oh,
lay down, take a little siesta, man, observe the sky. I gotta tell you, I really like it because it forces me to slow down in my life. Like
okay.
you know, you're always hectic and frenetic and you can't sit still. Your mind isn't still. Man, when I was with her out there, my mind was still. I wasn't thinking about fishing. I didn't care. It was just nice to get out and float around the lake, man. You know, nice breeze, man. Watching the wildlife, checking out the grass beds to see how things are laying out on that lake. It's very cool. Very cool. I learned a lot. You know, I'm just going to stick around the southern end of the Deep Creek. It's got more of a dominant. I mean, they're all smallmouth down there, but it's got more of a dominant largemouth pattern in location. So, yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I gotta get a winch for my little. I drive it onto a jet ski platform so it stays out of the water. It's kind of cool. It's got a mooring
Yeah.
cover. Yeah,
All right.
man. Yeah,
Good.
no electronics,
Good.
just, you know, all natural,
Yeah. Yeah.
like fishing used to be. So
That's
it's
right.
nice, kind of like stepping back in time. I don't have to worry about all that stuff, and no pressure, man. I'll keep the pressure for the tournament
All right.
situations.
All
Yeah, I
right.
liked it
Let's
very
give a
much
shout
so.
out to everybody in the chat.
Who's here tonight?
Oh God, I'm in a slump. Tom Nee, Tim, Bridget, Hella Bass,
Not thinking about
Darius.
fishing. Yuck. Oh, hella. I was definitely thinking about some fish in the water for sure, man. But I wanted to check out the grass, see where the edges were, see where the holes were, what kind of grass was out there. Found a cherry milfoil bed. Cannot wait to
Nice.
go back and start fishing that. Oh, yeah, bro. Kuda's in
There
the
you go.
house. Sean Lai, Steve Hardy, Ken
Hey,
Fontana, Brian
before we get all
Wisniewski,
crazy,
Darius.
I gotta make a huge announcement. A huge announcement for St. Croix Rods. They just sent me their new. These are legit. You know how they had like the Mojo lineup of bass rods? Like that was the starter beginner rods for St. Croix in the bass market. They redesigned everything. A really cool handle. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but they sent me a handful of these rods. This one here is a 710 medium light, and I've actually been using this to drag my Ned heads, drifting and dragging my Ned heads with this. Spooled it up with 5-pound Cortland master braid. I got the Shimano 3000 Vanford on there, and this rod is actually really nice. It loads up perfect. I'm going to try to make a video about this rod, but they also have mediums. They have a whole lineup of these Mojo bass rods, and we're going to actually do a dedicated video on them. I'm very impressed with them, Eric. So I just wanted to give.
Let me see
them
that
a little
handle
shout
again,
out.
man. Let me see that handle again, man.
Yeah. So let's start at the butt, right? It's cork, and then we just got. It's just a different feel. If you use the Mojo bass rods in the past, it's going to have a way different look to this handle and this whole area.
So do you actually like hold it like you normally would? I want to see where your hand fits on that handle.
Yep.
So it's for your thumb. You're not really touching the blank with your finger or anything. I'm trying to understand that big piece of cork. What does it do?
Yeah, just comfort. It's just more leverage.
Does it feel okay, gotcha, more leverage.
Yeah, definitely.
As the Canadians would say. Okay.
What would the Canadians say?
More leverage. They don't say leverage, they say leverage. Yeah.
We'll take our holiday and we'll
need more leverage. More leverage.
Talk Canadian. Okay. Let's bring our next guest in, because our first guest, our only guest, our regular.
Exactly.
Because he always has to get up early.
That's right.
He'll get moody.
He's got to go to bed.
If you keep him on long. And oftentimes he'll
just
even
goes
just
silent.
like
that.
A lot of times what he'll do is he'll actually just disappear and just leave. He'll text me and be like, I gotta go, and then that's it.
And then he just disappears, man.
I like to just sketch out, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
What's up, fellas?
Nice, man. What's up, Big JP? You got some big news to share, man.
Yeah, man. Been an interesting month for me.
Let's
You
talk
know,
about it.
let's talk about, what do you want to talk about first?
I mean, I think you talk about the big thing in your life, man, which is a new job.
Yeah, the big thing in my life is I put my notice in, and Wednesday morning will be my last day working for DeJezer Mechanical, where I've worked for the past 19 years of my life.
He's now a full-time, I got to break the news. He's now a full-time guide and permanent intern for Smallmouth Crush. We gave him a nice six-figure salary.
Intern?
We gave him a nice six-figure salary with benefits, and he's going to be living in my basement. So that's huge. Congratulations.
That's the news,
bud.
everybody. Congrats, JP. How's that feel?
That sounds pretty good. No, I took a new job. I'm still in the union. I'm still a proud member of Local 7 Plumbers and Steam Fitters, but I'm going to be working for the International as the Northeast organizer for the New York State pipe trades. I'll be covering basically from the Canadian border to New York City out towards Buffalo. So it's going to come with some new adventures and learning curves and stuff like that. But I'm thinking this is going to be a great move for myself, physically, mentally, and growth wise. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. So,
how old are you, bud? You're 30 something, right?
I'm going to be 40 in January.
Oh, so the big 4-0's coming up, man.
Yeah.
There you go. You're catching up to Travis, man. He's going to be 50 soon.
Yeah.
I'm not even close to 50, you weirdo.
Yeah, you is.
Dude, you really are.
37 or whatever I am?
No, you're older than JP, man.
Nah.
It's on Bass, buddy. Your birthday, man. You can't hide it anymore, man. Stop it. Anyway, JP, man, that's awesome, bro. Family's excited. Wife's excited.
I was approached, and they were like, "Hey, we think you might be a good fit for this job. Why don't you put a resume in?" And I'm like, I don't know, man. I've been working here for so long. It's comfortable. I like and I do. I love the company I work for. They've been great to me. It made me very successful over the years, But I just got to thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? I put the resume in, and they say no. I mean, I've been told no my whole life, so it's no big deal,
Wait, so man, who's been telling you no, man? You're 6'7".
Oh man, everybody gets told no throughout their life, right? So my wife helped me fill out the application or the resume, and I submitted the resume.
Yeah.
And then I got called in for an interview. So I went and I went to the Big and Tall store, got myself a brand new pair of slacks and a shirt, tie, and shoes.
Nice.
And I went to the interview, and it was a different type of interview. There was 5 people in the interview. And then me, I was sitting at the head of the table, and then they're surrounded by 5 people, and they just start asking you questions. And I was like, boom, boom, boom. I'm answering these questions. And the more questions I answered, the better I started feeling about the interview. And I'm like, man, when I walked out of there, I'm like, I actually think I have a chance of getting this job. I think I nailed that.
Dude. Wow.
First time I interviewed in 20 years, So anyway, long story short, a week goes by. I get the phone call as I'm walking out to lunch, and the gentleman called me, and he said, "We want to offer you the job." Wow. So I said okay, and then
you interviewed with 5 mafia leaders. I mean union members, right?
5 union members, Travis.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
interesting. See how Travis, he just takes it right there, man. Can't even get a new job.
The hardest question that I had to answer was the business manager from Glens Falls was there. And he said, now listen, I kind of know you, you've ran work in our jurisdiction before. You've been with DeJezer forever. I mean, you're going on 20 years with DeJezer, you're top superintendent or whatever, you got all the perks that the guy can get. Why would you want this job? I don't understand why you would want this job.
Fair question.
I said, man, I'll tell you exactly why I want this job. I said, I feel like I've kind of plateaued where I'm at. And I said, and as with anything, when you get that feeling of a plateau, you kind of get like that stale taste, And I said, and like I said, the company I work for has been fantastic. I said, but I said, I'm young, I'm hungry, and I'm motivated. And I said, and if you give me a chance at this job, who's to say 10, 12 years from now, I'm not sitting in one of them chairs interviewing a young guy that might be looking to fill this position. I said, I want to move up the ladder. I like moving forward in life. And then I was like, man, I think I answered that question pretty good too. So
Heck yeah.
There's some good comments. There's some good chatter going on in the comments, Travis. It would make you laugh. JP,
No,
I don't know if you
I'm
can read
reading
them.
it. Yeah, Hella Bass made a good point with the reset coming. That's 18 years. I'm going to tell you a funny story real quick. JP, you got your thumb there in the screen, bud.
yeah, I'm reading the comments, bud.
Okay, I continue. So I was going to buy a New York. Now that I'm a resident, I was going to buy a lifetime license, and it was like $600 versus $25 a year.
So
I
you
did the math. It would be exactly 2038, I believe.
Yeah. Where you break even? Yeah. And so
you didn't do it because you feel the reset's coming.
After 2038, you ain't gonna need a license, bud.
Yeah.
Right. You can't troll from that cruise liner going to Egypt. You won't need a license for it. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully you won't, like, you're trying to fish off the back with that Mojo bass rod you got. You know, you'll need a 710 on that big ship liner to reach the bottom. Maybe catch a little bit of dinner or something like that. Where's your New York license, sir?
So listen, so I get this great news about this job. Not to change the subject, but let's change the subject. I get this great news about this job. I take the job, and then I got to have that awkward conversation with my boss, which I went and I had, and it was a very cordial conversation. And you know, we're good friends. I mean, it's become a great friendship more than it is a. Well, it's of course a professional working relationship, but he's a dear friend of mine, and it went well. And then I couldn't wait until Friday, baby, because I got to drive back all the way back up to Calcium, fish a tournament with one of my best buddies, and to top off a great week where I'm going to start a new career and everything. Not only do we get the win, but we get the win with Lunker, and we win by over 5 pounds. It was an impressive tournament. It was an impressive tournament. It wasn't the biggest tournament, but there was some Lake Ontario sticks there that we definitely had some competition there.
Okay.
And,
who was the biggest competitor in the field?
Oh, we're talking about the tournament now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem excited.
Way ahead.
Oh,
but that's
okay.
fun. That's fun.
What can you even say about that guy right there? Man?
Oh, actually, before we talk about the tournament, let's talk about what Big JP had to do as soon as he pulled into Travis's driveway the day that I arrived on Friday. So I pull in, and at first, he's not home. So I went out back and I grabbed Cole. I started throwing him up in the air like I always do, playing with him and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Travis pulls in, and it's instantly, we got wrenching to do, bud. Oh, okay. So let's see. So I ripped the whole back of the battery compartment apart. I figured we troubleshot the automatic bilge pump, put a new bilge pump in there, and then he tells me that his drain plug doesn't work. So he goes and grabs a quote unquote new drain plug, one of them flow right drain plugs. And I take the 35 minutes that it takes to install that thing on my back in good clothes after I just took a shower before I left the house and everything, just to find out that it wasn't a new one. It was the piece of crap broken one that we removed from his nitro when I flew to Wisconsin and got disqualified from the tournament 2 years ago.
Oh, geez.
I didn't know it was the bad one.
So then I was like, give me the one we took out. So I ended up fixing the one that we took out and reinstalling that. So it was a pretty good Friday night. By the time we got done rigging, it was like 11, and he wanted to wake up at 4.
Yeah.
So I wake up at 4, and he's not up. So I take a shower and I get up into the garage, and I simply just send a text and I go, "Yo, mofo, where are you?" And then all of a sudden, in typical Travis Mansion style, he comes out with his, I don't know what you call them things, the shorts that he wears that are more like underwear, and his knee-high socks and boots, and he starts blasting Ludacris in the garage, and he goes, "You never text and ask me where I am."
So interesting.
So I don't want to miss anything. So the first gas station we stop at, they don't have breakfast sandwiches ready. So we sound like a complete meltdown while we're listening to the guys from Texas talk about the reset, the whole goddamn ride to the tournament.
Oh, what a miserable existence.
We did see a nice buck standing on a guy's lawn.
All right, that's good.
We were
Nothing
able
like
to stop at another gas station and get the breakfast sandwiches, and then we roll into the parking lot to see one boat. One.
big
And I'm
tournament.
like, dude, are we at the right ramp? And he goes, I don't know. So I walk over to the boat and I go, are you here to fish this Empire tournament? And he goes, yeah. And I go, oh, okay. He goes, and I pre-registered, but I wonder if they canceled it. They didn't post anything. So all of a sudden, like a Dodge pickup pulls in, and the guy's like, no, there's people coming, but goose season opened. And I guess up there, that's like a big thing. So a lot of people stopped fishing.
So how many boats ended up showing up?
I think, what was it, 15, Travis? 17 or something?
I think so.
It keeps growing. You guys told me 12 to 15, and now it's 17. What's the number?
There was 25 boats, Eric.
You guys are lying, man. It's so bad. It's 12 boats. Stop it.
No, it was 110 boat field, Eric.
You guys like a Fisher Price tournament, man. It's play school.
So anyway,
8 boats. Jamie said it was 8.
No, it was definitely more than 8.
Your story keeps shifting. It's really hard to keep track, but we'll see the results. Somebody go check the Empire Bass results and get the goddamn real number.
And you know what the weird thing is, Eric? This is a Bassmaster sanctioned event where if you fish all 4 of their tournaments and you win,
go to the
team championship.
Yeah, wow.
So I'm going to be fishing all them.
Was the team that was leading there?
Yes.
And so did they finish high enough to? Because you guys just jumped in the last one, right? You hadn't been fishing the series, right?
Right.
So I guess they're going. That's pretty cool, man. It's a fun event.
Huh.
It's a fun event. You could make it to the Classic, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell Travis this afternoon. I'm like, I think that might be something where we need to put aside the 4 weekends and do it, but he doesn't seem to have the interest. Yeah. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Big Bobby P, the drive master, my father. I'll seat buckle him into the seat, and I'll try to get there that way because that seems like a legitimate way to try to get there.
Anyways,
it's a real deal. I mean, you're competing against 400, 200 teams. I fished it before with Jack. Yeah.
So we had a very good.
And I fished it as well. The team championship. We made it. Sorry, Travis. I'm just trying to land the plane that it's a real thing and it's a very cool thing because truly it is for people that like to fish team events. A way to make it to the Classic. The guy Autumn Fishing, we fished against him and he actually won down at the Harris Chain and he made it to the Classic because of that team event. There you go. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, man.
So all week I had pretty good guide trips and I really didn't know where we were going to start for this tournament. What happened was the day before I went to an area I haven't fished all year and we actually caught like a 6.5 pounder.
Yeah.
And so that got me thinking, what are we going to do? Right. So did we really have a game plan? I think we had a game plan.
We had a game plan. We never ended up going to that spot during the tournament.
No.
Well, so as a game plan, one spot, what was your game plan? I mean, you don't have to tell us the areas.
We had the typical
what was your game plan?
Milk run. We did the typical deep water milk run.
You discussed it the night before or the morning of?
We
at the breakfast stop?
Night before.
Okay, gotcha. So did you have your first 5 or 6 areas that were deep water milk runs worked out in your head?
Yeah. In our head, we were fine. So,
okay.
So as we're leaving Chameau, as we're heading out, we are, I feel totally different than I've ever felt. I felt like I was floating above the boat as we were heading out there. Like I almost felt like I might be dead. Like I felt like I was dead, but I was alive, but I'm not. Like I couldn't explain the feeling, but I felt like I wasn't
for
there.
real.
For real.
Yeah, he goes, I'm having like an out of body experience right now.
I told him that on the way. Did I not?
I go, don't crash.
What do you say?
I don't know what you're happening, but don't.
Wait a minute. As you're in the boat, you told him that you haven't even got on plane.
We're driving towards a piece of land, and it looks like it's right in front of me. And now everything's calm. I'm aware of everything all at once, if that makes sense.
It's a good movie. Somebody should
Yeah.
write a movie with a title like that.
So,
All
anyways,
right. So, are you looking down on the boat at this point?
not just briefly.
you
And then I go to JP. I think I said something to you, right, JP?
Yeah, he goes, I don't know what's wrong with me. I got this weird feeling. I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience. And I said, well, just keep it together and don't crash the boat.
Yeah.
Because it was bumpy, bud.
It was, but it wasn't in my mind, bud. It was so calm and peaceful out there.
Yeah.
So there's 3-footers, and you're just feeling like you're driving on glass.
Yes, and the island just never materialized. It just stayed there. I felt like
you saw an island.
Yeah.
Did you see the island, JP?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean,
okay, so you're both looking at the same island, but you're saying you saw it, but it never materialized. What do you mean, Travis?
Like it just seemed like it would never. I was always right there. I was never getting closer. Yet. Yeah.
So you kept you wanted to get somewhere close to the island, but the more you drove, the more it just stayed the same distance.
And that's when I looked at JP and I go, "Am I dead? Like what's going on here? Something ain't right."
Wow. So it was a weird feeling that you were concerned about. You weren't like you were calm but worried at the same time. If that makes sense.
I thought maybe I died. Don't even know it.
Wow. And so when JP goes,
he returned to his avatar. Meanwhile, I'm like hoping to God that the boat doesn't crash.
Do you feel like maybe on the all right, go ahead, keep going.
So all of a sudden I get back into game mode. Now we're ready to go.
What brought you down to earth? Like what brought you back?
It wasn't anything that I remember. It was just here we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you on the spot you wanted to fish?
Yeah.
Even though you thought for a split second prior to that you could not get close enough to the island to where you wanted to go. It's just unapproachable.
But finally we're there. Now I'm giving JP direction. Everything's worked out. He knows where to place the net. He knows to extend the handle. We know what we got our rolls and we're fishing properly. So JP, I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah. So
what was that experience like on the first stop?
On the first stop, I wish I never picked a fishing pole up. Because he commenced to catch 3 giants in about 15 minutes. And that was great. And then we spent hours fishing around, trying to catch some more fish in this zone. And I mean, I felt like a co-angler because he was just live scoping so hard and so fast and so accurately that, and then he would be like, would you just first in the morning, he tells me, now listen, we can't both throw at the same fish because you'll ruin the part of the bite. This is going to be a big fish spot. I'm like, listen, man, I don't mind netting fish. It's fine. But then as like the day progressed, I'm like, this is kind of sucking for JP because I can't cast to the fish he's casting to, and he's scanning the whole freaking time. So you can't even how we were talking before, Eric, maybe we need to throw a Carolina rig off the back and drag it around. You can't do that because 1 minute the boat's here, the next second it's here, the next second it's here, and you would just be knotted up. And I mean, we
also talked about throwing a swim bait of varying weights to just catch fish.
I tried to do that.
Gotcha. What weight were you using?
No, I was using 1/6.
No, I'm talking like a 3/8 or a half-ounce swim bait that gets.
No, I don't roll with that. I don't roll with that when the fish are suspended. I know how to catch them with the swim bait. It was just the fact that I couldn't freaking see the damn fish.
1/6 of an ounce, and you expect
you
when the boat's move. No, but I'm just saying it makes no sense. But all right.
Yeah.
I mean, 1/6 when you're
there was
scoping
times
your own
I got
fish.
JP set up, so I want to keep going here.
Okay. So anyway, we got the 3 big ones. Then I'm like, all right, I got some spots that I'd like to try, and he's like, fine. So bang, we go to the first one. And he catches like a 5.5.
Wait, you don't get to go to the front and try your spot?
No, like I said, I was perfectly fine with the fact that the way that the fish were biting.
I just want to make a point. I appreciate you taking me there, but I did have a couple marks in that zone, did I?
Yeah, not? You did. I know you don't have to steal what little glory I fucking have for the tournament. Okay.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you didn't show him anything, bro. Basically, you are a co-angler at this point. Do you even remember the guy's name that fished with you on Saturday, Travis?
Jeez.
Oh, he
He's
told
on
me
the
at the end of the
show.
tournament. At the end of the tournament, he kind of said I should have just fished it by myself. I was like, "Thanks for kicking me in the balls."
No, you said that to me. You
Oh
said.
my god.
So anyway,
So you
listen,
got to
guys.
figure it out. I mean, really, at some point, if you guys are going to continue to fish team tournaments, you got to find some way to keep him engaged.
No, I think we had a great time. We were talking. I was
Eric,
engaged. I was talking.
No, listen, and that's what I'm trying to tell you.
No,
guys.
I'm just talking about what JP, you know, like I talked to
No.
him when you weren't on the phone. He goes, it kind of sucked for me. I think he's happy that you won. He got money. But I mean, is that what you want for your experience as a team, JP?
In 100% honesty, in the fish catching category for myself, that kind of sucked. But the learning experience and the netting the fish and having fun with my friend, I had a great time. Don't get me wrong. It's just I can definitely see like all right, Gino and my father fished a tournament 2 weeks ago, and my father told me after the tournament, he's like, that was the worst time of my life because all the guy did was live scope all day. My dad's 70 and sits in the back, right? Now I was standing up front and it was extreme. I caught a lot of fish the second day, but the first day I was struggling trying to keep up, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get to the good juice here. So he catches the 5.5. He's like, come on, we'll go to the next mark. We get to the next mark and we both go, oh yeah, there's one right there. So I'm like, yeah, get that son of a bitch, you know? So he pitches over there and you can see like, it's just like, it was like right to it, right?
Right to the jig,
he sets the hook and the rod bends way better than it's been on any other fish, right? And I'm like, oh man, that looks like it's going to be a pretty good one. And he's going, it's the biggest bass I ever caught in my life. You know, typical Travis. Every time he hooks one, it's a giant.
Oh yeah, it's a giant.
But then this fish comes up to like within 2 feet of the surface. It comes up and then it just turns sideways and goes back down. And I'm like, dude, that is a stud. Take your time. I got this, right? And it comes up again and boosh, I net it and I pull it in. And we were like, is that 8 pounds? It was freaking huge. Prehistoric dinosaur, all beat up looking. It was crazy.
What was that, a 7.5 something?
758.
58? Nice. That's awesome.
Giant.
But beat up though. Like had missing part of the tail. Was it a spawned out female or something?
It would be like a 98-year-old human, you know. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's wild, man. That's an old fish.
Yeah.
How many years do you think that fish was?
So then he's like, make sure you fizz that fish and do a good job. I trust you, bud. So I fizzed the fish and I counted to 14 and I put it in the live well. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to fill the other live well up and leave that fish by itself because it's so big. So then like 10 minutes later, I go back and I look and it's kind of like floating on its side. And I'm like, oh man, you want to take a look at this? He's like, I trust you, bud. I'm like, all right. And then 5 minutes later, we opened it and it was just on the bottom, swimming all happy.
Nice.
Yeah. So
lives to fight another day.
So then I don't know if we made another cull after that fish. But anyway, that was 27.5 pounds on 5. We get in and
so you caught 5 bigs. Well, 4 bigs and 1 giant. What was your small fish that day?
Over 4 pounds.
Got it.
Yeah. It was all 5s and then a 7.5.
Yeah.
That'd be 27.5. Yeah, they were all 5-pounders.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So we get in and we weigh the fish and then we put it he put it on the trailer and then we're like, all right, let's go see how we're making out. And we find out we have like a 3-pound lead.
Oh,
shout out to Empire Bass too, because they don't screw around at the weigh-in. You weigh your fish, you get the fish out of there, and then they're breaking everything down as quick as they possibly can. I like that. Those guys want to run a quick trail, you know.
Who's on your heels, man?
Zach.
So he's thick up there. I don't know.
He's a guide up there.
Okay.
He had 24 pounds and change, so he was
3 pounds out
and change behind us.
Yep.
So we get back to the house and we rig up and we're trying to decide, you know, what we're going to do the next day. And we decide that we're going to call an audible and go to a completely different section of the lake the next morning. So we launch the boat and we come around the point out of Chameau and we make it like a mile out. And he's like, I think we need to pull the plug on our game plan, bud, because it's pretty bumpy. And he goes, we can make it, but we might break some stuff. And I'm like, no, don't break anything. Let's run the rotation we ran yesterday. So we run up in there and then I ended up catching a real good one right off the bat. And then we went like
Give us some details, like what are you guys throwing? I mean, it's nice
We're
to
gonna
hear
get to
stories about
that.
catching
We're
fish.
gonna get
Oh,
to that.
okay. So how are you able to catch a fish behind Travis? Give us that.
No.
For a little interest.
I got on the spot. We're spot locked.
JP, you didn't basically have nothing to do with it. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, he knew how to cast a bait. He can see fish on the live scope. I might have been.
Oh, you're up front now.
First stop in the morning. I'm probably trying to get my rod still out and get the net set up, get water in the live well, put the G juice in, get the ice in the live well going.
Yeah, I finally got a chance to actually fish, Eric, and I caught a fish. Right?
Good for you.
No, I was up front. I was up front the whole time. It's not a problem, but when you're trying to live scope, and he's standing there, I'm like looking over his shoulder.
I know the drill, bro.
You know, yeah. And it was just like at a certain point, I was like, this is just stupid. I'm just going to let him cast at everyone and I'll just bomb out and hope I get a bite. It was fine. I came to the conclusion that was the best option.
Yeah.
But anyway, I get the good one. And then we proceed to fish like some pretty good areas and we're catching all these small fish and I don't realize it. But he's already worrying because he's throwing 2-pounders in the live well, and I don't know it, right? Because I'm catching.
First of all, let me explain something. JP catches
what has happened to him?
JP catches a 4 1/4, and then I realized that all the spots that we fished yesterday, the fish are not there anymore, and so I jack on. They weren't 2 1/2; they were solid 3s. JP.
Okay.
And so I just started sticking them in a live well real quick, just because I was like, you know what? I mean, I just want to have I don't know. It's not typical of me. I know JP was a little freaked out about it, but
yeah, dude, because here's what happens. We finally
never weigh those in.
We finally get another 5-pounder, and then he goes, I get the fish and I throw it in the live well and I grab my rod and he's got the noodles, so you can't see, right? And he goes, dude, you can't cast. We got to cull. And I go, cull what? We have 2 fish. And he goes, no, I've been throwing them in. And I'm like, okay, I thought we threw anything 3 pounds and under out, but now I got to go and I got to cull. So I just reached down in the live well and picked one out. And I'm like, yep, see you later. I just threw it back in the lake, right? You know? And so that had to happen for like 2. So then then we go to another spot. We go back to where we caught the 7 1/2.
Yeah.
And he catches a 5 1/2.
Nice.
And I'm like, sweet. So then I'm like, all right, now we got 3 good fish. We need 2 more fish, you know?
Right.
So he's like, we got a good bag. I go, no, we don't. We got 2 shrimps we got to get rid of. And he's like, what? So I pull him out of the live well and I go, we got to get rid of these. And he's like, I don't get it. I keep catching big fish and you keep telling me there's small ones in the live well or whatever. So anyway, finally the wind lays down.
Oh.
And we both look at each other and we're like, let's just go finish this thing, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go finish it.
So I said, we're going.
Yeah, we're going. We strap it out and he starts hammering out there. And we get to the first spot and we don't make an upgrade. And then we get to the second spot.
Well, hold on. We get to the first spot and there's 30 fish on this big freaking thing under the water, right? And so I see them all. I point to JP on the graph. I say, look at them all.
And
they're all big.
And he says, don't cast.
I say, don't cast.
Yep.
I said, we're going to catch them. What happens? What do? I make my cast. I catch the big one. He's on. And somehow he breaks my line. So I flip out.
At the knot or the leader?
No, it was like midway down the leader.
Okay. Abrasion.
So now all the fish are disrupted. Everything's a mess. And I'm freaking out.
I think I catch like 2 or 3, I guess they're 3-pounders. I thought they were 2 1/2. So I'm throwing them back. And he's like, all right, come on, we got to go. So we move and we get to this spot. And I'm kind of looking around like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, I'll show you what this is. He goes, they're going to be hard to see on here, bud. But if I get one to bite, it's going to be big. And all of a sudden, he's like, there's one right there. And he zooms over and he drops down. And then like 45 seconds later, he's like, got it, right? And he's and it's rip and drag. And he pulls it up and it's a 6-pounder. So I'm like, all right, cool, man. We got 1 call left to make.
One left to go. Yeah.
And I go, bud, I go, but it ain't over yet. This is where they're at, and we will win right here.
Yeah, so we start scoping around. It took us a long time to get another bite. He gets a bite, he sets the hook, I drop my rod, I grab the net. He's fighting this fish forever, and all of a sudden I hear a noise and I look and my rod is going shooting off the back of the boat. And the only thing that saved it was one of the eyes of the rod got caught in the hook on one of my other rods. And the rod's like hanging there. And I'm like, what the hell? So I grabbed the rod and I tried. I'm like, what the hell happened with that? And then I feel the fish, right? And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, oh, I got one.
First of all, hold on. First of all, I'm fighting this fish forever. He's almost up and he's ready with the net. And this fish is going to come up any second to get netted. And his rod's going off and he's worried about his rod. And I'm like, bro, we need to get this fish in. Don't worry about your fish. I'm like, do you want me to net the fish that's still way out there? Do you want me to net your fish over this big beast that's coming up? Like, yeah, I had to get in his head, like, don't worry about that. Did I not? We had
to. Yeah, you did. But I didn't want to lose my rod. I wasn't so much worried about the fish. I was worried about losing my whole freaking, $700 setup going down to Kerplunk.
Yeah. And then basically he's fishing for free that day. Good God.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All right.
He's in the hole.
I net his fish. It's another 6-pounder.
Big one.
Then I grabbed my rod, and I'm like, all right, get that untangled from there so I can reel this fish in.
So I'm trying to untangle it, and I can't. So I freak out, and I think that the line I'm going to bite, the braid I'm biting into, it was braid, by the way, was the other line that was stuck. So I bite it, and all of a sudden he's like, you bit my line. And I instantly jumped to the back of the motor like you're catching a football. Because I see that braid, the yellow high-vis Cortland braid is going right on the back of the deck, going straight out.
I'm like a snake through the carpet.
I grab it and I wrap it, and then I'm fighting them.
Can lining. Old school.
Steals my fish, Eric.
And did you land it?
Yes.
Yeah.
How big was it? One of them 3-pounders?
It was big, yeah.
It's on camera. It's on camera.
Oh, I can't wait to watch this. That's awesome.
Yeah. So then he's like, all right, we got to start heading in. I'm like, okay, cool. So we start heading in, and on day one, we pressed it. We got in with like 3 minutes left. He's like, we can't do that again tomorrow. I'm like, all right. So we're going in, and I'm like, hey, if we got time, could we please stop at this area so I could make a couple casts and catch a fish? And he's like, no, but I got something deep over in that spot that we'll stop on. So he goes to a waypoint that says JP sucks wiener. Yeah, you heard it, Eric. That's what it says on his screen. Yeah. And by the time we get there, we're rolling in 3.5 footers. The water is dumping into the boat. And I'm looking at how we got to get back in. And I'm going, we need to leave like soon. And finally, he's like, all right, let's go. We got to go. And we make the victory lap in. I think we speared 4 waves on the way in. I was soaked. And then we got in and we weighed the bag, 25 1/4 almost. I think it was like 25.17 or something. And Zach did not have the best of day. But another guy did weigh in a 25-pound bag yesterday, but he was too far behind to catch up. So
he had a 25-pound bag?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just under 26.
Intense, man. Very intense.
So we're going to talk about the baits.
So you guys get my St. Lawrence Super Tanker Award, Travis, for that 758, man. Congratulations, JP. Maybe you'll catch one and you can get a sticker too one day. Good job on the net. I don't have a get. Oh, you know what? You should get Tackle Crafts. He's got a shirt. Get the damn net. That's what you should get, JP. And wear it.
Listen, that 7.5. When he came up and I got a glimpse, I thought it was because my biggest is right at 8 pounds. And I thought, man, I think that might be the biggest one I've ever caught. It looked like a 9-pounder or whatever. It just looked massive. You'll see if you saw the pictures on Instagram, all those fish were freaking 5 pounds, 4.5 pounders.
One of JP's looked pretty small.
No.
Only because
we had 7.5, bud. So
was that the 20? Oh, because you're missing one fish in the picture. Only hold up 4.
Yeah. So the
JP, you're holding them way out like that. But I think big guys have a problem because you're so tall, anything you hold up never looks big.
Yeah, and the best comment was Travis looks at that picture as we're driving away, and he goes, "God damn you, bro. I can't even look tall standing next to you. Look at that. You make me look tiny."
Yeah, JP, you
Now,
tower,
Gino, I
bro.
see Gino's in the comments there. He's saying you got to throw 2-pounders in the live well. When you're on Lake Ontario and you're fishing 35 feet deep, you do not throw a 2-pounder in your live well. I'm sorry. What do you want to have, a dead fish penalty because you thought you were going to suck and have a 2-pounder in your bag?
Yeah,
Listen,
you can't call a dead one.
no, you throw them back.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you another thing. I'll tell you one thing. I honestly, I wasn't mad, JP. Like, I wasn't worried, but you could tell I was mad on day 2 when we struggled in the morning.
Yeah.
But I always feel like if you can keep, you never know when you're going to run upon them. Like, so I'm never really worried until it's almost over that we, suck that day, because it happens. I've ran plenty of spots and just could not connect with any fish, but I just felt like conditions were right. I'm real intimate with that last spot we stopped at. I know JP kind of touched on it a little bit. That was the first time I fished that spot this season, actually. But I have a lot of history there. I have about 10 years of history on that particular area. And JP, you can share a little bit about that spot if you want, and kind of what you learned fishing with me there, because I think it was a pretty good education for you.
Okay, so basically we pull up where we're running across the lake, and then in the middle of nowhere where there's like no topographical change on the map or anything, he just stops. And I'm like, oh, he must have like a big giant boulder out here or something. And then we get up on the front, and I'm like, man, there's nothing here. It's like the most featureless spot I've ever seen in my life, you know? And then all of a sudden he's like, there's one right there. And we're like 55, 60 feet deep. And then he goes over, and it's like really hard to stay on the fish because the fish is deep. And I don't know, he was saying something like the bottom composition isn't really good for getting returns on. So the fish don't really stay on the screen real good. Should I have not said that?
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay. And he zooms over, and then he's like, I think I just landed on it. And I'm like, well, I didn't see anything on the screen. But then all of a sudden you see the bait going down, and then whoop, the fish is right there. And I'm like, oh, holy crap, it was right there. And then it's a 6-pounder. And I'm like, wow.
But there's more to the story, guys. It's not just dropping a bait down. It's not like Randy says that anyone who has live scope is just ruining the fisheries and you got to catch these, there is way more work after locating them on a graph, after you spent your whole morning using your live scope to do shit and not put any fish in the live well.
Yeah. And some of these, them two
What is that extra work?
I would say that them 2 big fish that he caught, those fish took 4 to 5 minutes to get the bite.
Gotcha.
Experience.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's the way you're presenting the bait, working the bait.
You do not move your bait.
Yeah.
You do not give a tight line. You do not move your weight. You let that bait sit there.
Motionless. And the
For
skirt
a minute,
is
2 minutes,
the
3
skirt's
minutes.
doing its thing.
And
You're
then when
dead
you
sticking.
feel like it, you give it a little shake. And then guess what? Most people, they will never even feel that bite, and that's a guarantee.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. I said, listen, dude, I'm a pretty good fisherman, but I can't feel, because he at one point goes, I think you got one on. And I go, no, I don't have one on. But I go, do you think 30 years or 20 years of construction and the calluses in my hands and stuff when I'm trying to fish this little ass bait on slack line 55 feet deep, do you think that I'm just not feeling the bites? And he looks at me and goes, I don't know. I can't really pay attention to what you're doing. I'm trying to catch this one.
Well, Travis,
multiple times throughout the weekend, I said, this is your teaching moment. Like, this is like a good moment for you to teach me what's going on. And he did. He actually did take the time to actually
break it down for you. So what'd you learn?
Oh, well, the first thing I learned was the weekend before I fished a tournament, and I fished the exact same areas, and I saw all them fish on them spots and couldn't get them to eat a drop shot to save my life. And then we go out there and drop the open water sniper jig, and it was like, what the hell, Instantly they come over and
Instantly? I thought he said he has to leave it motionless for 3
No,
minutes.
no, no, no.
That's
The first
some fish,
area we
some
were fishing.
schools, every
Okay.
fish on that lake, every pond, every spot that I have,
Different
those
attitude.
fish, Eric, I'm telling you right now, year after year after year, and I told JP when we went to that last stop, I told him exactly how these fish are going to act. Even though I
And
haven't
they act
fished
the
it all
same
year,
year over year. That's
they
wild.
will always act that way. You always have to catch them that way, and that's how they look on the live scope, and that's how you catch those big ones. Now,
So you
could I
have a
do
dead
that?
stick presentation for certain spots,
Could
and then certain
could I
spots
do
you
that
drop
and-
and they go zoom.
I told him, I said, there's 30 pounds out here all the time. I said, I do not yet have the confidence to sit there all day. Well, first you need the right conditions, but if you had the right conditions, could I sit there all day and try to catch 5 of those big mamas in a tournament? And that would be hard even for me. I can go there and catch 2 or 3.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what I've done for years.
Lower light.
But to commit a full day.
Sure.
Ooh.
Make an interesting video to see
Because
if you can
honestly,
crack 30.
as good as I am with feeling those bites,
Yeah.
I missed some, JP, and you saw that.
Yep.
You mean the fish actually had it, and before you got a chance to set the hook,
he loaded up, and then
It's not like a typical place on Lake Ontario or any place where you're live scoping. You see one, you throw your drop shot over, even if you give him just a little slack, and within 20 seconds he should bite it, if not reel up and cast again. This is literally sitting there and
you're dead.
And then when they bite, it is such a small tick. And then when you commit to that hook set, you have to commit. You can't just feel for the bite.
No, you got to go.
You got to give it to him, because then when it is one, you are reeling up and you're reeling slack, and all of a sudden he's going to come straight up. And there's a second where you'll actually be able to scoop him in the net if you're quick.
Holy shit!
Otherwise,
are you vertically? You're vertically dropping.
I'm always right on top of these fish.
Wow.
I will never pitch to these fish at all.
Interesting. I wonder, like, these are all individual fish, or is it a pod of fish, or does it vary?
No, they're little roamers.
Just big, fat giants roaming this featureless spot looking for a crawdad. So you're over. You're over. Well, there's got to be food there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're looking for a goby. Is there goby there? Can you see the bait there? Is the bait present?
Sometimes there's bait fish there.
Yeah, I just wonder why are they there? I mean, if a smallie's not there to eat, what are they there for?
I couldn't tell you.
Anyway, there's something about that spot they like, the big fish. It's very interesting.
The most featureless spot I've ever seen in my life.
Pretty freaking cool. But it's off of a featured spot. Like, you thought you were going to an area that had features, and you stopped in the middle of nowhere. Were you close to an area that you've caught them before that has boulders, chunk rock, gravel, all that kind of stuff? No,
not me. No.
Okay, interesting. Very fascinating. And it's a dead stick kind of spot.
It
very light
is.
bite spot. Very interesting. And you're dropping straight down on them.
It's a big fish, don't move your bait type of spot. And that technique works all over the lake.
Sure. I've heard you talk about it.
It really especially works there,
Like, you have to do it there. Like,
yeah.
Have you ever caught fish there where you just dropped and he ate right away? Wow, that's incredible. And year over year, how many years you been fishing that spot and dead sticking for him?
About 8 years now.
Is that the same spot where you tried the 3-pound test?
No.
Okay.
No.
Have you ever tried lighter line for him?
Okay, I'm going to be real honest with everybody. I've been using the you guys know I love this stuff, right?
Bass Pro Shops, man. That's your go-to.
I bought the yellow, was it the yellow labeled expensive line?
Invisex
or something.
Seager.
And I went down to 6.
Yep.
And I've been doing that now for about 3 weeks straight.
And
I've been breaking off more fish than I ever have.
Holy shit.
And I don't know, it's because I'm used to the way my rod, because you have to get intimate with your whole setup, right? My St. Croix Legend Extreme medium lights are my drop shot rod of choice with 5-pound braid. Like, everything is set up to be an extension of your arm to know how that rod feels, right?
And to put it in perspective, you're dropping from 8 Bass Pro Shops down to 6 Yellow Label Seaguar
I
Advisex.
think it could be the hook set. It could be something as simple as how I'm taking time to tie that and wet it and cinch it at the knot when I'm doing I don't know, Eric, but
Where are you breaking off? Where are you breaking off? I know you did a leader break off, but
not the leader to braid's always good.
Solid. Okay, so it's at the hook.
I gotta stop doing that. I love the theory. It's not working for me.
Who's the guy?
JP.
What kind of knot do you tie?
For what?
To your hook.
Oh, I don't know what it's called. Everybody asks me. I don't know.
Well, get your hand close to the camera and
tie
tie
one. I put the tag in. I loop it.
Wait, hold on. Just do it. Oh, you're doing it right now. You make a loop and you're putting it through the eye, right?
Yep. So now there's a loop there.
We got it. We can see it. Yes, we can see it.
I clinch that. I go up about 2.5 inches.
Yeah.
And then I wrap it 8-9 times down.
Okay. And then what?
Well, I got to get there, bud.
Oh, sorry, bud. No pressure.
Then I take the tag line.
Yeah.
At that top loop now.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure it's folded the right way like that. And then I take the end back through. And then here's the tricky part. I fold my teeth. And I have to pull this other knot here. And I go like this. I wet. And I have to pull all 3 at the same time and get that knot there. Then, if it's perfect, I just pull this. And I slide it all the way down. And then I like this. And I pull. And then I take that line and I put that through the eye of the hook so it stands out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is for your drop shot.
Yeah, I thought that's what we're talking about.
No, I just wondered. Okay.
And there you go.
So that's where you're breaking off at the knot with the 6 pound.
Yes.
I don't know that that's the right drop shot knot to tie.
It's the only one I've ever tied
for light line. For light line and 8 or 9 wraps for such a light line. That's interesting. Wow. I just tie a Palomar. What do you tie for your drop shot hook, JP?
Palmer.
Have you used 6?
No.
What do you use?
8.
We're using 8 with Travis?
Yes.
Travis, we're using 6 for the 27.5 and 25 pound follow-up that you caught, because clearly you caught all 5 each day, right?
The 5.5 I caught. The 5.5 I caught on day 1. So I caught 1 fish on a drop shot day 1. That was on the Great Lakes Finesse drop minnow, and that was on 6 pound because I just felt like the drop shot bite has been tough this year, and I felt like maybe that would help. But then remember, JP, I think I broke one off in the tournament.
Yeah.
So
and then I must have broke 2 because I had another drop shot ready to go with 6, and I had in the rod locker because I mentally knew this the night before. I put one with 8 and buried it in the rod locker in case I needed it. And I remember pulling that out on that last stop, JP.
And you broke that too. Well, so wait a minute. I'm trying. We gotta land this plane.
Yeah, but I know. But 7 of the 10 fish came on 10-pound tests.
That's what I was asking. I wanted to know.
7 of the 10 fish came on 10-pound tests. They're not line shot.
I didn't say they were. I'm trying to assess the knot problem. I'm not talking about you caught the fish because it was light line. We've had other conversations where he couldn't get a bite. He stepped down to 3-pound test and started hooking the fish. So there are moments where line size matters. That's a fact. So we don't have to debate that. He did it live on the water with me. I had a theory 3-pound test. We argued about it on a live. He called me up and he said, dude, you were right. I did it and it worked. He couldn't catch him on heavier line. There are moments where they care. There are moments where they don't care. Agree with you 100%. I'm just trying to understand the knot he's tying with 6-pound test. That's a lot. I just don't understand why not a polymer.
Huh.
I for a drop shot, not for your regular knot. I just don't know. I mean, again, I'm not trying to tell you to change, but that's a lot. Somebody said you might be burning the knot with fluorocarbon knots. It is a slip knot because I saw that knot slide down. You know, once you had that, I'm trying to understand the mechanics.
Maybe
of that
this
knot,
isn't the right knot for that.
It might not be. And just, you know how to tie a polymer. I know you do. And have you ever done it on a drop shot? Try it with your 6 when you're just guiding and see if it stands up to your hook sets. Then you'll know.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, so all in all, it was a good tournament. Sucks we caught that type of bag in a, it wasn't the highest payout, but
yeah, it had to feel good though to get a win and to have a dominant tournament, winning by 3 or 5 pounds. I mean, it's pretty.
It was fun. I had a good time with JP. I think we had a good time. We fished a few tournaments this year together. I think we're a good team. I know you were frustrated, JP, but you stuck with it. You were a great net man. You were, bro. We had that long ass net, and he with his long
6'7". I know. No fish can get away.
Come up above and beyond where you would have to work them. You would have to let him come up, and then he's going to go back down and do some more fighting by the boat to get him with a smaller net. Where JP was able to just get that fish in. I'm enjoying that. And I kept telling JP all day, I'm like, bud, I love to net. Give me something. Give me something here.
Well, you got to let him go up there and use the trolling motor and stand a live scope, and you go to the back and just cast it over.
We talked about it after the tournament. He's like, well, maybe next time I'll run the pedal and you can run the turret so that you can try to find a fish that potentially I'm not seeing, because we have to do something. We
could do that, but at the same time, JP, I understand what you're saying, but I use that turret. I use them both simultaneously.
I know
the whole time.
I got to tell you something. He's just too efficient. I mean, it's like it's literally clicheing, but it's like fishing behind the Hoovered vacuum.
Well,
now, do I feel like if I was in my boat fishing that tournament, I would have been competitive? Yeah, I don't think I would have won because he was just on a different caliber of fish, right?
Yeah.
But if I was in the tournament in my boat, I know I still would have had a good tournament. But it was just, it's like putting handcuffs on you, kind of.
You got to figure out. You got to figure out. He has your round fish. That's no question about it. That's a fact, because I fished with him, and I don't look at live scope 99% of the time, and I catch big fish around him. And sometimes I catch more big fish than he does, and sometimes he whips my ass. But guess what? I'm blind casting 99% of the time, and so I don't know what the technique is that you've got to figure out. You got to fish differently. And just see, there's nothing lost by that. I mean, explore. What all you're doing is netting, get in the game and try to get a big bite.
And there was
there's no way he's seeing every 6-pounder on the spot where it's impossible to see. He says there couldn't only be one 6-pounder on that massive area of nothingness, right? So if you're covering water, fucking dead stick something, man. Who knows? I'm just making stuff up. I don't know. You guys are way better smallmouth. You guys are way better smallmouth fishermen than I am, but I've thrown shit behind him that I think surprised Travis at the right time, not in your tournament, but when the fish were shallow. So you guys should keep fishing as a team. But dude, I mean, holy hell, bring some bait casters early spring. That's all I could tell you. I fucking got giants behind him, and I didn't look at one of them. I was just covering water, just fucking fishing. He had me in the right areas. I didn't look at him. I had no idea I was getting a bite until it happened. He's doing his thing, turret and foot pedal, doing this. I'm just going zoom, zoom. That boulder looks good. That fucking break looks good. That little line looks good.
Yeah.
Just bombing it, dude.
I think you're 100% right. When you're shallow, you have a lot better chance.
That's what I'm saying. When you're shallow, yeah, I get it. I get it. But I've asked some pretty good sticks, what would you do? And they had some great ideas. And it wasn't throwing 1/6 ounce swim bait deep. It was throwing 3/8. I mean, that's what they said to do. I'm not saying it would have worked. I'm not saying you'd have ever caught a fish, but Brett Carnwright, it's fucking the Canadian guy. He said Carolina rig, drag that big freaking brass freedom tackle thing with the thing we talked about on this Patreon. Travis, that thing catches big fish. You can just drag that around the boat as he's moving the boat. I don't care which way it's going. If it stops and he goes this way, you're still dragging. It's a 1/2 ounce bait, JP, on 14-pound test.
Eric, I love your theory on this, but I'm going to tell you right now, if JP was doing that, I'd be mad as hell at him, because there's times when there's fish right below the boat. He gets his shots at these fish.
I would open the bail on my reel and net your fucking fish. Now what? Don't fucking drop it with the bail closed. Open your goddamn bail, so if it gets stuck,
all I'm saying
you get a bite. You know what I mean? cut the line on that
All
3-pounder.
I'm saying is I wanted JP to be doing the same thing he did with me. Even though he didn't get as many shots, he was still making casts. Sometimes we were spot locked and using the turret and looking at multiple fish and casting together. It's very hard, and I deal with this every day guiding. It's very hard for me to line up. So in my mind, everything's going at the same time. I know my cast is ready. I know what angle. I know in my mind what 50 feet looks like, and we're in 30. So I know there's going to be a bow, and there's going to be, that I know if I'm in 20 and at 40, it's a different ratio. But I have that all already, like it's natural. So when I'm guiding, now I'm telling that guy, I'm pointing like this, and I say 40 feet, and maybe the wind, the spot lock is on, or it's just starting to engage, and the wind's still blowing us back. So now that fish is further, and he's in 30 feet, but it's on a ledge, so it's going to look different. Like, my point is, it would be very hard for JP to duplicate that exact cast.
I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you to do something completely different, JP.
Because now I'm lining up to see exactly where that bait is falling, and if I'm even on that fish at that moment. There's a lot of casting reeling up. And so JP was very good at taking advantage of the shots he had, as well as when there was fish right below the boat.
Right.
I think.
I
don't think he did a bad job.
I caught a lot of fish. The second day, I probably caught 20 fish the second day. It was just,
that's fun.
He got the bigger fish, and I'm not complaining. The first day, it was just, okay, so we're doing this, and I got to learn the technique. By the end of the day, I had got the technique down, and the second day, I was able to catch some fish.
I bring my own fucking portable unit, man. That's it.
Yeah, right.
No rule against it. You could have a little turret. You could have a little turret. You used to have a turret at the driver's seat. You could stand in the back and fucking use your own turret, right?
I'm using the radar around somebody asked in the comments. I'm using the cornfield crappie.
If you tried to drag that ball and chain behind the boat, he would just run it over with the trolling motor, because in a dime, he's like, there's one behind me. The trolling motor's on 100. He's spun around, and then he would be pissed because I'd have to lift the trolling motor out to get my line out. I mean, I fished with him enough to know what's going to piss him off.
I'm not dropping below the boat when I'm behind him. I'm fucking casting way far away from the boat. And look, don't change anything. You guys are going to make a great team, man. You're going to win some big money up there. I feel it coming. So don't change anything. I'm just brainstorming, man. Just talking. That's all.
Jeez, you guys in the comments.
What are they saying?
I don't know.
Moral of the fish with Travis and Terry get a good pocket. Yeah, you get the Chad drop shot. I'm sure you did.
JP, I would ask him. I'd be like, dude, I need some encouragement now. He'd be cheering me on. Except for yesterday in the morning, I was like, bro, are you mad? What's wrong?
What was going on, JP?
No,
what was going on?
No, I wasn't mad. I was like thinking, what are we going to do here? Because we're catching, I guess they were 3-pounders, but we're catching 3-pounders, and I wanted to win the tournament. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to approach asking him to go somewhere else, because it was windy, and he already made it clear that we didn't want to really break anything. And when we're fishing, and I'm like, we need to get out of here, but I don't want to say anything, so I'm just going to stay quiet.
There you go, man. Team tournament fishing is an interesting thing. It's a yin and yang for sure, man. But there can only be one captain, and you're looking at him over there. He's above you, man. That's right.
What's interesting is every stop we went to, I feel like all those fish have a different personality based on the structure that they're relating to.
Yeah.
And so that's why there was times when I told JP, don't cast, because I knew that would confuse those fish. And then there was times when we were casting together at the same fish or a group of fish.
Yeah.
Because you get away with it on that certain stretch. Like every little spot we went to, and I see it because I see it every day out there. Those fish they always act the same, but they don't always bite, if that makes sense. Like,
now you're dialed in, man. You're on the water every day, dude. I'd be listening to you too, man, except for when I don't.
But those we were really impressed. I was really impressed with the I've always been, but that sniper, Jake, whether we cast it to a fish or drop right below the boat.
Yeah.
We could tell when we were going to get bit. They really bit on Saturday for us with that jig. We caught a lot of fish.
Man. Are you still using the Maxcent Leel General for your trailer?
Little General, the Z-Man TRD, and then the Snack Craw by Great Lakes Finesse. So
yeah,
I like the Snack Craw because it floats. It's going to have a little bit of buoyancy. I like the Little General because I think it has something to do with the scent, maybe.
I'm sure it does.
But I like.
Are you still soaking your Z-Mans in Procure?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So you're using? Are
Talking
you using
about? Listen,
Go-Be-licious?
Apparently I don't use enough because JP had some juiced up ready to go, and I basically I don't know what I was pretty pissed off when I put my hand in that bag, but
why? Because it was like really gooey.
Oh my god.
Was he using the right stuff? Did he use the stuff that the Z-Man soaks up?
Yeah. Well, he was using he had his Gajo Spirit Shads ready to go in that stuff. But it was dripping.
Nice. Oh, dripping. I like it, man. Nice.
Bad. Where do you wipe yourself when you're done when you get a bait like that?
On my rain gear.
On your rain gear.
Oh, that's got to smell good, man. Wow. Wow. Hey, are you going to buy the saltwater unit, Travis? For 10,000? Yes. Wow.
Hey,
have you seen anybody with it?
Yeah,
I could see you fading, bro.
Yeah,
hey, good tournament recap, man. Good job, JP. Right. Congratulations, man, on the new job and the tournament win. Everybody, give JP a big hand, everybody. Big hand for JP, man, and Travis.
Good job, JP.
Way to go, man. Wow. Well, there you go, man. How about that?
And the weird thing is, he'll text me in a half hour and want to talk while he's laying in bed. All right? So annoying.
That's awesome, man. That's you guys are going to win a lot of money up there if you get into some bigger team tournaments, man. I got a feeling. Man. You're starting to get the rhythm of the tides, man. I've seen it before with guides on the Potomac. When they're out there every day, they get the whole concept of tide and time. And smallmouth, of course, is different. It's deep, it's shallow, it's everywhere in between. But you're wired into spots and how they bite and how those groups of fish react to baits because you see it every day. You're gonna be hard to beat, man. It's coming.
I need more of those spots, dude. That's all.
Well, you're out there every day, so go explore, go find, you're gonna have to tell people, man. We're gonna go look for new areas. You just got to do it for an hour, literally on a client guide trip every day.
Nobody wants to do that. They all want to catch, bud.
No, you're just gonna have to say, look, this is the. Don't even tell them you're doing it. Just go do it. Dude, I mean, seriously, give them a world-class experience, right? They've already caught 25 pounds or 30 pounds.
What I would love, what I want, the ultimate guide trip would be when the guy comes out and like, I want to know how you catch these fish and what you do. Show me what you do.
Isn't that what they want?
No, they want to catch fish. So I got to line them up. I got to do a drag, or I got to see how they fish and then determine where I'm going to fish with.
So you'd rather do a bass class for the advanced.
I'd rather be like, okay, bro, you see these fish here? Watch what I do. Look, watch me work my bait. See how I pick that cast up if it's not perfect. Watch how long it takes. Look at how I'm watching my rod tip. Like, I want to have a rod in my hand to teach. I can't teach with them with their ways of fishing. You know what I mean? I can get them bites, but I'm not going to be able to teach.
I got you. But people have to kind of have to do it to learn. You actually have to feel it sometimes. So maybe you hold their hand. like you pitch, and then I want you to put your hand on top of mine. Is that JP?
Put your hand on top of mine. Yeah, there he is.
What the hell? What's he asking? How did it go, bro? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. I think he's mad at me.
JP?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm all right. You okay, bud?
Why do you think he's mad at you?
I don't know.
Why would he be mad at you, bro?
I don't know.
Interesting. Well, what else you got for us, man? So Travis is looking for some advanced angling guide trips. If anybody wants to go out and watch him fish, and he teaches you, and you can watch him catch 27 pounds, he will hold your hand for at least one bite. You gotta make the offer. Would you feel awkward doing that? Like, Eric, I need to show you. I'll let you hold my hand. Like, I've been asking you to do that for 3 years, bud, and you won't do it. You're just like, I'll let you know, bud. I'll let you know. What are you doing? Yeah. But I'll let you know when I get a bite. You just never want to give the secrets. You just never want to give the secrets to me, because I'm already dangerous enough on the back of the boat. Dude,
no, we got to get out there, man. I'd love to show you. I feel like this year was
Did you get better this year?
Yeah.
How much better? Like, from the smallmouth angler you were to the smallmouth angler you are today.
All right. Okay, 2017, I had a really good year out there. I won a BFL.
Yep.
I won a ABA. I won a Thayer's and something else.
Yep.
I didn't know shit back then.
Wow. All right.
And guess what?
Go ahead.
There is so much more to learn.
Well, think about how huge the body of water is, right? Not just how to present the bait, how to dead stick the bait, the areas where the fish behave differently and consistently year over year. Now apply that to a body of water that's the size of, I don't even know what. It's a monster. I mean, how much of Lake Ontario do you know?
Nothing.
5%, 5%, 2%?
No, 2%.
I 1%?
2%.
You know, okay, so you got 98% to go, and you got how many more years to the thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
you do know.
I wish I had more time to find more stuff. You know?
You mean like not just take people to where you know their fish are and you can catch them?
I have enough to do some damage here and there, and
yeah, but don't you think you should at least spend an hour each guide trip, and you don't necessarily have to tell them you're exploring, but just explore. Like, just expand your area around the areas where fish live.
Exploring is really done with your electronics more than anything.
That's what I said. You don't have to tell them you don't know that there's going to be.
They don't want to idle around the boat while I'm looking at my side image.
Well, no, you guys they were here yesterday. I got to go find them. So give me a minute, and then just 20 minutes later, let them fucking fish. Dude, 20 minutes a day adds up. 30 minutes every day. It's 2.5 hours of extra exploration every week. For a year, that's 100 hours of new shit you wouldn't be looking at.
There you go.
Just do it. It's done. You're going to start doing that. So anybody book Travis, know you're going to be idling for 30 minutes while you're not catching shit, because you got to go find some.
I learned the river a lot more this year too.
What did you learn about the river? Because that's always been your weakness.
I learned that you can't fight what works.
What works in the river?
Random drags.
When you say random drags, what do you mean?
Drags around structure in areas that
should hold fish.
You notice are holding fish. But when I say random, it's not like you're hoping that your bait's going to come across either fish you see on the graph. Sometimes you can manipulate your position.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's really effective. We did a little dragging yesterday out there too, on the main lake. When you have the right conditions, you can do that. But
sure,
it's pretty wild what I learned this year in the river.
So meaning when you say a random drag, so you've seen fish in the area, it has cover that should hold smallmouth, there's bait present, and you're not actually seeing the fish on the bottom, but you randomly drag through the area and you catch them. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to Brent Anderson, obviously, you know, the guy that won the tournament that you fished in. You had a good day one and then faltered. He couldn't always see him. And he does a lot of dragging, as you know. And I think that's because obviously it was a river tournament. I think that was the river tournament.
Yeah. No, I get that. I know where my weaknesses are with electronics when it comes to the river and stuff, but that's
what do you mean? When you say weaknesses to your electronics, you're not scoping as much.
I know guys that are going to be able to go out in that river and precisely fish a drop shot where it needs to be, a Demiki rig and things like that.
Hey, man, look, Bass U's in the house, man. Surprised you don't get more clients who want to learn, Travis. Thanks for showing up, Bass U, in the house. All right, go ahead.
There you go.
That's what you should do. You should offer a bass class.
Yeah.
For the advanced angler that really wants to do that. That look,
I think guys want to learn. Guys want to know areas more than how to catch them. It seems like they want me to take them to the juice. You know.
I think everybody wants that. Like if you get the right person that wants that advanced angling class, like I hired Pete Gluzik because I wanted to learn more how he approached the upper bay. And so it was really a good season for cranking. You know, I'm a crankbait nut. And so I didn't care where he took me. I wanted to see boat position, line, bait choice, how he presented, depth, speed, and cadence. And I learned a lot from Pete in one day and caught several really good fish. Both of us did. And but I feel like I was a different angler. I wasn't just looking to go catch fish. I can catch fish on my own in the upper bay, right? I had my own bass boat at the time. So I think it's a smaller universe of people, but maybe you have to advertise that. See, you're always showing pictures of big giant bass. So maybe on your Instagram, you got to appeal. And on your website, there is an advanced technique class.
I'm saying that's my dream. My dream trip is one guy that allows me to fish with them, where obviously if we're live scoping, I'm not taking that shot at that fish, right? I'm letting him do it. Yeah. But let's say we're drifting and I got a guy that just wants to learn drifts and go out and have a good time. Then I get to fish because that's the only time I really fish. Like I am not, and there's a lot of times I got to watch a lot of rod tips and detect bites for people and make sure that they get, the experience they're looking for. So I get it. There's all kinds of it. Everyone's different. Every day's different. Every way we are going to fish can be different. So if it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that nobody ever wants to learn. I get plenty of those, but 80% of my trips are guys that just want to set the hook and catch fish, you know?
Yeah. So, well, that's what guides normally do. So, you know, I guess you're thankful you got the 20% coming to you that really want to learn and will let you fish a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, you could do expert drop shotting classes or, that would be cool. Maybe it's a different price. I don't know.
I think we're going to have about another good 3 weeks of this summer type pattern.
Yeah. When do the fish go shallow? Do they go shallow in the fall at all? Start chasing bait?
I'm going to say the same thing I always say, bud. There's always fish deep and there's always fish shallow.
Okay, good.
There will be big groups of fish at some point here this fall.
Shallow?
Shallow and deep, yes.
Okay, good. When am I coming up to chase some of those shallow fish?
I would say...
I'd prefer to fish shallow and wind on them a little bit.
I think you would have a blast if you... Actually, right now, if you came up, we'd have a blast.
Yeah.
But I would say the second or third week in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll look at the calendar. Yeah, and I don't love when I have to try to look over your shoulder and you're doing all this. I mean, I would prefer, like, I really love the experience we had a couple days last year or the spring, which were just shallow searching. It was really fun just to cast and wind. And
I would love to take you. Okay. I can take, well, we can do both in a day. We can randomly fish like you want.
Yeah.
And I can set you up on big groups where you don't have to look for individual fish.
That's fun.
And you can throw a blade bait in 30, 40, 50 feet of water. And
that'd be a lot of fun, dude. Right? I know you. We have never. Hey, here you. Yeah. You and I have never got on a really good blade bait bite together. We tried. You tried. The first year we went on, my first time ever on Ontario, you tried the blade, you caught a couple, but it wasn't strong on the main lake. We didn't really find the concentration, so we started dropping near that river, and we saw the bait plumes were everywhere. Yeah,
Sean, nothing happened to the Real Shot or PHYXTV. In fact, next week we're gonna do on the PHYXTV platform. we're going to talk a little more in depth about some of this stuff, but yeah, there's no issues with anybody. We're just trying something a little different here with that Tackle Warehouse link, just to see what kind of business we can generate for them here.
Cool.
That's
man.
all. If you guys missed my announcement earlier, if you use the links in the description to purchase your, if you do buy from Tackle Warehouse, and we're gonna talk a little bit about this in the future, but if you can remember, be like, oh, I gotta go buy a bunch of little generals next week, and you can be like, oh, instead of typing in www.tacklewarehouse.com, if you go in this description and grab that link that's there and go through that, that actually triggers the algorithm to show them that you went through this site to purchase, and they're just tracking it to see if there's something that can that'll be good in the future. So
Yeah, good. That's good for the channel, man. Support the channel.
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly.
Don't be using that Milliken code or back to the bait, man.
So much to reg, bro.
All right, dude. Well, listen, man, it's been a great show. Congratulations on the big win, man. We can wrap it up right now. You gave us some technique stuff. You told the audience if somebody wants an advanced class where you could fish side by side with Travis and learn more in a day than you'll learn in 5 years, drop shotting or drifting on the river. It's not a spot or anything, although you could bring your phone and mark that spot. Right, Travis? Does anybody do that?
Not to my face, but I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they got it in their pocket, man. I'd have that shit running the whole time. Hell yeah, I would. Yeah, man. Yes, so would Travis.
So where was I? There was a key point I wanted to say.
What was it? You said you had a lot of rigging to do.
No, there was something.
You were talking about the Tackle Warehouse.
Here's another thing I would love to do.
Yeah.
Not only fish, but let's go out and explore. Say, Travis, I want to see how you break down this bay. And then what do you look for on your electronics? And then maybe
you want to do that. You want to do that in a video? Like when I come up, like Travis, we roll into a bay.
No, man, we want to get you on some fish.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, if it's a good, I mean, it might make a good instructional video. Or you're saying you'd rather teach somebody breaking down the water. That's another kind of advanced angling thing that you offer. How you break down areas for smallies. Okay, there you go. Bob Stevens.
Hey, guys want to know.
Oh, wait
Before we go, guys want to know what's new at the Bass Lab. What's coming up?
Man, what is new at the Bass Lab? Bob Stevens says he wants a fall box. Man, I've been a little bit remiss. Work has been crazy. But Bob Stevens wants a crankbait box for the fall. What do you guys think? You want a fall brawl box, man, from the Bass Lab? Let me know. Hellabass says, who Hellabass? I thought you were gone, bro. Hellabass says he wants someone to fund his pre-fishing. Oh, Travis is pre-fishing. He's got your number. Yeah, Gray Buck does electronics classes in the boat. Yeah, there's a lot of pros that do bass, kind of like instructional on the water types of training days, you know, and they charge good money for it, varying prices depending upon the pro you get. But yeah, I mean, I think that's what Travis is talking about. You could really, you could really offer different things. But
well, I do. Like, listen, when we talk on the phone, when you book a trip, I ask you what are your goals for this trip, and I'm just telling you, 80% of the time they want to catch fish. That's
very
what
true.
they say.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. You just got to attract.
That's what they want to do. That's what we'll do.
Listen, you're doing it. You're delivering it so good. But what you're saying is you got something else you could offer the advanced angler who wants to learn technique-driven stuff or break down certain bodies of water or both in the same day. And that's a different offering from you. So to all the advanced anglers out there, yeah, he can take you out and catch big fish. But if you want to learn, that's a whole different class and a whole different experience. And Travis wants to do it. And so, hey, people keep asking what's new at the Bass Lab. I got a couple things in the works. Let me tell you about them.
Please do.
So I'm working on a custom color with Jamie from Samata Baits for the hollow tip worm. I sent him up my sample, so hopefully, and it's going to be exclusive, available here at the Bass Lab. It's going to be limited run quantity. Working out a A couple custom colors with Jimmy Big Time, who's back in the bait making business. So maybe Travis, I don't know. Did you want to have Jimmy on one time, just for a minute, like show like some of the new stuff he's been working on?
Sure.
Okay. I think people would enjoy seeing Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't hear from him for 5 months, but when he's got something going on that he can sling to the public,
all right,
bring him on.
All right, man. All right. Why can't we just all get along?
He
might say the same. He might just say the same to you. Do you call anybody anymore? Because Cornell was like, I haven't heard from Travis since he was on the show. And I'm like, he's busy, dude. He's stressing out. He's got boxes of duck decoys. He's launching all these new things for his guide service. He built a house. He's just a dude is slammed. He can't think about anything else other than that. And his family. And your guide trips. I mean, you're working dusk to dawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, some of the comments mentioned something about I live scope to do well in tournaments, and it's all about the money. I'm going to make a point right here.
Wait a minute. What did you say? Let me understand what
like,
you're about to talk about.
I only live scope to make money or something.
You only live scope to make money. I don't understand.
I'm going to say this straight up with you. If I could not use live scope forward-facing sonar, I would have very little desire to go fishing anymore.
Isn't that funny that you and I are exactly opposite?
That's fine, but I'm going to make that point. I'm going to say it right now.
I hear you.
If there wasn't live scope, I would not want to go out fishing. I would find something a lot more fun to do with my life. Because after live scope, I'm able to go out and make casts and set the hook, because that's what I like to do. And I say this all the time. I want to go fishing to set the hook. I can look at the scenery, look at the water. I'm on the boat all the time. I get the lifestyle. Okay? I get it. You're out there bobbing around, hoping for a bite, throwing the jig around, whatever you're doing on the water. I'm out there all the time. Okay? I like to duck. I'm going to go catch walleyes trolling. I'll do that. If you're going to make me go out on some big hump in 40 feet of water and randomly cast a drop shot around for hours so I can get 2 freaking bites, I'm going to stay home and do something else with my time. All right? I'm going to go troll for walleyes. I'm going to go salmon and trout fishing. Go catch some steelhead. I'm not going to sit there and randomly cast a head rig around hoping that a smallmouth bites me so I can set the hook 3 times in that day.
Time out. You didn't start your career with live scope. I think what you just said fell apart, and you enjoyed it.
Well,
were you on the Elite Series? Weren't
you
on
on
the
better
Elite Series?
things to do.
But weren't you on the Elite? Listen, but wait a minute. Weren't you on the Elite? Wait a minute. Weren't you on the Elite Series without live scope?
Or go flip for largemouth before I go try to chase a big smallmouth offshore. Is my point.
So what would you still enjoy flipping for largemouth?
Yes.
Right. So if you were back on the Elite Series and you went to a lake where the fish were shallow,
offshore without live scope.
Okay, fair point. But I think people might have interpreted a little bit differently than what you were saying. If you actually, not that you have a desire to be on the Elite Series anymore, but if you found yourself there and you knew it was a shallow water tournament, you'd get your flipping stick on, you go flip for them. You'd enjoy it because you'd have to compete, right? Without your live scope. But you're just saying I'm an
addict. I'm a live scope addict. And I crave it, and I want more of it. Give me more transducers. Give me the saltwater version. I want them all over my boat. I want to be able to put glasses on and see underwater and see every damn fish to cast at so I can set the hook on them.
You won't even need to have a boat and go out in the water. Just do it VR.
Maybe.
You still want to touch them, though, right? And feel the fight. You want the experience of being out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd like being outdoors. So but maybe the VR would give you that experience and you wouldn't have to leave your couch. You'd be a big fat blob. Anyway, man, you're you're getting people fired up in the comments, man. It's all good, bro. Hey, man, different strokes for different folks, man. Everybody enjoys their jam and the way they want to live their.
Wants to fish with live scope. Stop fucking talking about it. Stop being like, oh man, it should be banned. Then just stop using it and grow up and go do something with your life. Go enjoy your life. Stop acting like a dick, telling people they should stop using live scope and it should be banned. That's to everyone who's anti-live scope.
Hey, listen, man. It's good for views. It's good for conversation. It's stirring the pot, right? Listen, you got to know what's at work here, dude, right? You got to know what's at work here, right? YouTube is all about what? What's YouTube about? Why do people have channels? Because they generally want to get their point of view across. The way he markets his channel, the way Johnny Fish the Moment does, those guys are in it.
People out.
They're no, I think you maybe were a little bit, right? But now you're irritated by the conversation being had, right?
The constant conversation to get views is getting really irritating.
It's not going away anytime soon. This debate won't go away. It's going to rage on for a while. Man, just do your jam, dude. Do your jam. You know who you are. You know what you like to do. You don't have to defend it.
I love it, dude. I love it.
I think people get it, that you love it. And it's just very interesting that we're at the opposite end of the spectrums in that regard. And we still both love it. And that's the cool part. I love watching you do it. I don't know what you're doing. It's kind of cool when I look at your screen. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, but it's something. It's a bunch of these little feathery things. What is that? Is that a bass? And then I see a trail. Oh, he's got the ghost trails on. I think I just saw, and then I don't know where they are. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. But I'm glad I can catch him behind you. That makes me happy. At least I know you're putting me around them, and I get the fish the way I want. And you get the fish the way you want. But you got to admit, man, when we were really live scoping or burning a crankbait over that grass and snapping it, that's pretty fucking cool. You don't have to worry about the live scope. Just fucking casting, dude. Burn it through that grass. Stop, burn. Snap. All of a sudden, not knowing when it was coming. Come on, man. There's something magical about that too, right? Right?
Yeah.
You got to admit, that was a magical day, right?
Which day we talking about?
We're talking about the day I figured out they were biting crankbait in the grass, bro. And then you put the crankbait on. It was smallmouth. You did a video on it. Best smallmouth crankbait bite ever. Did you not mean it?
Yeah.
Oh, that day.
I remember.
There's something pretty cool about not knowing they're out there.
On the live scope, bud.
You saw a few, but you didn't see them all. Because I clearly caught a bunch. I didn't look at one of them and caught as many as you did. It doesn't matter. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool just making a cast not knowing, burning your crankbait and snapping it, not knowing when it's going to come. You got to be a little surprised by that. There's a little bit of magic still left in your bloodstream that says that's cool to make a long-ass cast, work that thing through the grass, burn, stop, snag it up in some grass and go, whop, and then all of a sudden it pops free and he goes,
okay. You want to know what's really cool? When you cast to 10 fish on the screen that you see, and finally the 11th bites, and because you worked your bait a little differently or you did something a little different and you get that bite, that's cool.
I can't argue with you, but you never gave me a shot at doing it with you in the 5 years that we fished together. Maybe one day you will set me up for that, and I'll go, man, I see what I've been missing.
You can't go out there in under an hour, never using live scope or learning.
No. I'm telling you. No. You're setting me up. I want to see what you see. Just show me what you see one time.
So now I'm pointing to you and telling you to cast 40 feet, and you're going to cast 60.
One time. One time, get mad at me 3 times. I don't give a fuck. Just let me try it one time with you. Set me up. Show me what I'm missing. And we'll film it. And I go, man, that was a cool experience. That would be cool. I mean, I must ask you 20 times a day. See anything? I'll let you know, bud. And then you cast to something. I go, I know he's fucking cast to a fish because you don't make a cast unless you see something. I'll let you know, bud. What are you doing with that? Just working the bait, bud. Just working the bait.
See something, say something.
That's what I said. Did you see something? Say something. Show me what I'm missing. Come on, man. Let's film it. I'm teaching Eric live scope. I'm teaching him dead sticking for smallmouth. I think I could. I'm pretty good. I could do it. You know I could catch him. Come on now. Are you worried? You ain't worried, right? You catch enough smallmouth. God, I mean, right? So what? Give me one shot at a group to go. See if you catch one of those. And then coach me through it.
Yeah.
But don't yell at me. Don't
Get up
yell.
here. Let's go.
I'll do it. I want to do it. This would be fun for people. I'm not standing in the back of the boat, working around the damn camera, stepping on the camera cord, unplugging the camera how many times, right? That would be fun. One time, just work the turret for me. Go, there he is. I'll go, okay, 40 feet, 30 feet. Wind direction, play it, handicap it 5 degrees to the left. There's a little bit of a drop, so you got to cast a little bit further because the bow in your line. Okay, slack line. Don't move the bait. Feel. I'll make sure I sand my calluses down. I'm pretty good at bite detection with a spinner rod, bro. I got those Loomises, man. Come on now. You know I know what's up.
So do I, bud.
I dude, nobody even questions your smallmouth abilities at all.
I got my damn rods dialed in.
You are wired, except for that 6-pound test knot. You'll figure it out. I'm telling you, try the Palomar just to test it and see if you could stick with because you really come up with that rod. You high stick, your tippy toes, and I mean, you go for it. No, you do, dude. On the medium lights, you can because it's a fucking medium light. You shouldn't be breaking at the knot. Something wrong with a knot. That's just a fact. But here's the way to test it. Use your 6-pound Bass Pro Shop fluorocarbon. See which is better. I mean, here's the crazy part. You have supreme confidence at 8-pound, right? Yeah, David Brown, FT knot. Try fuck that knot. We ain't doing that one. You have supreme confidence in the 8-pound. You've never strayed from it, right? You're still using it. I would just step down to their 6 and see if you just like, because maybe it's a harder. I don't know. I don't know if the diameter is the same as CR. Some people say Tatsu's better. I don't know, man. But I mean, look, it's a good price. Why wouldn't the 6 be as good as the 8 in terms of abrasion resistance, suppleness? I mean, it's just right.
Yeah.
And try it with a Palomar. I know you know how to tie that.
Well, I need to go back down to even less than 6, like that 3 to 4. We need to do that.
I totally want to do that.
I need you up here, man.
Yep. We'll
when
shoot
you
some
want to come up.
Let me look at the calendar. I'm going to look at the calendar tomorrow for you, man. Because I don't have any tournaments until October because the Top Gun got canceled on Show on River.
Okay. Well, it's almost pointless. Like if you come up now, in a month, you'd have to come back twice.
No, I'll come back when it makes sense. Like think about.
Well, no, now's the time to come up to do what we want to do. But I love for you to experience the fall bite up here.
Yeah, that's what I know. I mean, I want to, bro. I want to. There's plenty of weeks. I've only got. I have to. Let me look at October. Okay, I'll call you tomorrow. Well, when do you get off the water?
I just have an afternoon trip tomorrow.
Okay, I'll call you in the morning.
Yeah. No,
cool.
Everybody's calling me tomorrow morning.
Okay. Well, you know,
I'll just
send you some dates, bro.
All right.
We'll work with it. We'll work with it. All right, good stuff, man. Finish your rigging, bro. Great show. We talked about a lot of interesting things. We talked about some technique. You talked
bro, we gotta go salmon fishing then if you come up mid-October.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
We'll do it all.
Fucking A, dude. I've never caught
a
salmon.
Did I tell you real quick, I stopped at the DNR office here in Watertown last week? Well,
what happened?
I had a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
Some pertaining to duck hunting and what's legal and what's not. And then I kind of started the conversation about the fish ladder incident.
Yep.
And really, so here's what I'm thinking. Isn't there some sort of rule or law that states if the judge found you not guilty, that they cannot convict you of the same crime again?
Double jeopardy. It's called double jeopardy. They can't convict you of the same crime twice. Meaning that.
Oh, you're right. Wait a second. I get it. So if they say you killed someone and then
try you again for the same crime,
and you can't just kill a new person and then be off the hook.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I can't just. So I can't pick another day and just go.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's the same crime twice. So
I'm still trying to figure this out, Eric, because all those people are within 100 yards of the fish ladder. Because the DEC puts a cable up, they're saying anyone inside that cable is getting a ticket. So they're discriminating me. They're discriminating me, so I should be able to sue the state for discrimination when I go back under the cable to catch a salmon.
You could
bring. I'm letting these fish go. The fish ladder is not even operable. It's not working. There's no fish going up the ladder. On the rules, it said any fish ladder to stay in New York, you have to be 100 yards away.
Right.
Okay. Everybody that fishes that bank and this bank over here is well within 100 yards, yet they never get a ticket. But I do when I go to their imaginary line that they say they're going to enforce if you cross that. And that's at about 50 yards.
Is that the only place the salmon are?
If I want to have an enjoyable day salmon fishing, that's where I'm going.
I got you. Dang. I guess you would have to bring it to court and spend some money because they sound like they're going to keep giving you tickets and you're going to keep breaking.
When I left, his final words were, make sure you stay away from that fish ladder. And we talked for a good hour. Really good dude.
So
was he saying,
was he saying make sure you stay 50 yards away from that fish ladder, or was he saying
the rules say 100 yards? Doesn't matter if he says stay 50.
Yeah,
he started talking about how some people drive 60 and the cops don't pull you over. Like he was trying to justify why they'll only enforce, they won't enforce the 100-yard rule, but they'll enforce the 50-yard rule. Well, then make it 50. Enforce what's on the books and give all those bank beaters a ticket then. Don't single me out or discriminate me because I want to get creative and jack on a bunch of salmon that day and have fun.
Well, it sounds like you just got to keep talking. What else can you do, man? Test it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You get a ticket. How much is the ticket?
I don't know. Test it. They're going to give me a ticket again.
Test the 50 yards.
I need to get under the cable, bud.
Oh, you mean you need to get under the cable?
Yeah.
I don't know. You got to fight it and spend money to fight it. Maybe you could just go represent yourself.
I didn't have to fight it last time. I prepared a case. I went for the judge, and I was found not guilty.
Well, then do it again and just keep going back to court. It'll be worth it. You'll jack your salmon.
The judge is going to say you're guilty because I told you stop going under the cable. Yet,
the judge told you that.
Well,
then I think then you have to be proactive and sue the state of New York
for discrimination. Because I have live scope and I can see the salmon up under the cable. They're going to give me a ticket and discriminate me because I have live scope. I don't think that's right.
Is that why you're getting a ticket? Because you have live scope?
Yes.
That's what he said?
No, that's just what I believe. That's what I feel.
Now you're just making things up.
I'm being discriminated against by the state of New York. They let everyone on the bank cast their snagging hooks into the current and snag a bunch of king salmon. But if I want to go there with my skein and see them on my live scope and drop a float and position my boat and my bait to these salmon and jack on them every cast nonstop all morning long, then I get the ticket.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm lost. I'm lost for you. You got to fight it. City Hall. Just got to fight it. I mean, we get the dilemma. We've heard your case, Mr. Manson. You've been to court. You went to the DNR. You tried to present your case reasonably, and he still told you, stay away from the fish ladder. Sounds like you got a Mexican standoff.
I would not care if they gave tickets to everyone that was within 100 yards of the fish ladder. I would get it. But every day there's 30, 40, 50 people breaking that same law that I get a ticket for. And it's not right. And now what they're going to do is they're going to take that cable and probably put a sign up that says restricted area, no fishing. And then that's going to solve the whole problem, even though those people are still fishing within 100 yards of the cable.
Listen, dude, you're repeating yourself incessantly. We heard it the first show that you told us about this problem. I'm hearing it this show. Now you've said the same thing 50 times. I get it. So what are you going to do? You got to fight it. So now you got to be proactive and sue them.
Yeah, Dark A. Musk, you're exactly right. So I bought a little remote control boat to do that technique, but I bought it off of Amazon for $30, and the thing would go almost the speed of your boat, Eric, but 20 times slower. It'd go 0.4 miles an hour, and I couldn't even get it. You know where I used it? I'm going to tell you now that I don't live there. So,
Did
I tell you where I used it?
Did it work?
I couldn't get it. You know, with the tide going out, it wouldn't have enough power to get up underneath that bridge.
I wonder if it would have worked.
I'm sure it would have.
God, that would have been fun to do. You just need a better boat. So what are you going to drive your skein up to where it is and then just drop it that way so you can stay back, but your bait's under there? Right?
Yeah. I was going to use one of those little clips they use on planer boards where you attach your line and you get your bait where you need a position. You give it a quick, and it pops off the remote control boat. Your bait falls, you fish it back, and then you got to drive your boat back too.
Damn. That'd be funny as hell. That'd be cool.
But I need a good, if anyone has a big, high-powered remote control boat I can borrow for the month of October.
You can't use your drone? Somebody just said with a claw. Fly it under the cable, drop your bait.
Or I wouldn't even have to fly it. I could reach over the cable, fly it, and then get the rod back under to grab it and then fish it.
Can't you?
Oh my gosh, this is great.
How high is
the cable? I have to duck. The cable's only about 5 feet above the water's edge.
Oh, so you can't cast your skein under the cable. You got to cast it over the cable and just drift backward.
You're looking at you would be looking at an extremely long cast. You got 50 yards yet to get to the hole.
How far can you cast skein?
I don't think you can cast 50 yards. It has to be at 50 plus.
You have to. Okay, you got to fly it in. Fly it in or boat it in. That'd be funny as hell. They didn't say you couldn't fish the hole. They don't want you getting the boat near the hole, right? So the boat stays behind. You're obeying the law, but you're making a cast into an illegal area. But you're casting where everybody else is casting. Can the people from the bank reach the hole by the fish ladder that you want to fish?
No.
Oh, so they're not breaking the law in their eyes.
No, they're within 100 yards, Eric.
You said it was a 50-yard.
Okay,
wait. I'm just trying to understand. Set up. Hold on. Wait. So if this is the people on the shore right here, you're over here, and the fish ladder's over here, right?
Everybody's within 100 yards, but because I'm the closest, I get the ticket.
No, please don't say that again. I can't hear it anymore. I'm going to go to sleep listening to that. They're discriminated against because I just
want to know why I get discriminated against.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think you're just going to have to. I just don't know. You went and met with the guy. What did you say? What did he say when you asked him?
He read the rules. He read the rules. He goes, yeah, it looks like it's 100 yards from a fish ladder. I go, even in a one that's not operating, that has no water coming out, that fish have never gone up. Well, it says a fish ladder, doesn't say whether it's operating or not. And then he goes, well, I don't make these rules. I just enforce them. I go, okay, fair.
Right.
Then I go, every day there's dozens of people that are within 100 yards of that fish ladder.
And what did he say?
They should also get a ticket for breaking the law.
Well, what did he say?
Well, we have the cable is kind of where we will give tickets out for.
The cable is for boats.
No,
that
the
what you're trying to
cable,
say?
they want you, they go, anyone who's fishing away from that cable, they're not going to give a ticket to. So basically what he's telling me is, we're paying you our tax money to enforce the rules, and you're going to take it upon yourself to only enforce the rules when it fits your narrative, which is past that cable. So you're not going to give people on the shore 100 yards within their tickets because you feel you're going to make up what is right or wrong in your mind to enforce. That's my whole point of this whole thing, dude.
I'm totally lost, but okay.
What are you talking about? You're going to get me really upset here.
You're already really upset. I can't. I'm not following him or you. I'm trying to understand what he just said. And I'm trying to understand, did you say all that to him or did you let him answer?
Oh, no, I said it all to him.
Oh.
And he kept going, well, it's up to us where we give people tickets. No, it's not. It's a rule. You're not going to enforce the rule?
Then I think you have to basically take him on in court. You got to win.
The problem is, when I do win, I'm going to piss everyone off that fishes around there because they're all going to get tickets. I don't know if I want to do that.
Right. So I think
You
you need to find
understand?
another place to salmon fish.
I don't want to find another place.
I don't. Then you're at a standstill. You're just going to have to suck it up and get tickets. This is no win situation. In order to get to change the rule or drop the rule, you're going to have to challenge
it's not a fish. It's not a fish sanctuary. It's nothing but the same thing everyone's fishing over here. The ladder isn't even operable. It's not a fish hatchery. It's not a sanctuary. It's not a protective zone. It's just a spot on the river.
That's crazy.
How do we get a drone to drop a bait?
I mean, that's got to be easy. Guys do that all the time, don't they? Right?
All right.
Anyway, I hear your frustration, dude. I don't know how you get it done. It sounds like you tried to go and meet with him reasonably, and he basically said it's arbitrary. And he knows
basically said it's up to them what they decide to enforce as someone who's paid by the taxpayers of New York. He's taken under his own,
don't make it don't make it like a big political thing. Just
he needs to be writing tickets every morning to everybody staying on that shoreline.
I don't, but he doesn't want to, and he's not gonna. So the problem is, it's arbitrary. It's true. You've established that. He still told you he's going to do it arbitrarily. So at the end of the day, he's going, you're in a boat. Stay away from the fish ladder. I've told you. I'm going to write you a ticket. I'm not writing anybody on the shore a ticket, and that's that. Now what are you going to do?
It's not fair or right.
I get it's not fair or right, but you already pleaded with him it's not fair or right. And he said, I hear what you're saying, Travis, but here's the thing. I'm not giving people on the shore a ticket. I'm going to give you a ticket because you're in a boat and you're under the cable. I told you to stay away from the cable. Now, if you fly a drone over the cable, is he still going to give you a ticket? Test that theory. I didn't bring my boat. I didn't breach the 100 yards. I just flew my bait in there. Trying to follow, make sure you're good because everybody else is casting there too. Can the people on the shore cast to the hole that you're fishing?
No.
So maybe that's.
But they're still within 100 yards of the fish ladder.
I hear you. Please don't say that again. If you say that one more time, I'm going to get mad. We have established the facts. I'm just try the drone. What are people going to call up that are on the shore because they hate you in a boat? Oh, he's a live scoper. We're going to get him. This is not fair. He's sucking all the good fish near the fish ladder in the hole that we can't reach. Fuck that guy. Is that what's going on? Do they call the people? Do they call the DNR on you?
Apparently, there's some angry guy there that calls when anyone goes underneath the cable. And if they get a phone call, then they have to give you a ticket.
Okay, gotcha. So there's an angry fisherman. We don't know who it is, but there's one.
No idea.
They see a boat. They see you go past the cable, and they're going, "That's bullshit. He's in a boat. And he's going to the sweet spot that I can't get to." So he's pissed, envious, and jealous. And he saw you in your fancy bass boat, and he's like, "Nah, I'm calling." Hi, Mr. DNR. It's Travis again in the hole.
That means every morning I'm going to be in the parking lot calling him saying, we got 1, 2, 3. You got 8 guys here that are within 100 yards. I need you to give them a ticket this morning.
Have you tested that?
I don't want to.
So what you're saying, but see, you could call him and you're going to say there's 10 guys fishing from the bank and they're going to go, we're going to ignore that call. He doesn't have to get it. He doesn't have to. That's not true that they have to go out and give tickets if they get a call. It's up to them to enforce it or not. He clearly is driven by
discriminating. So that just gives me more power.
You have no power unless you're willing to take it to court. That's just how it works.
I already did. Not
No.
guilty.
You went to court to defend yourself. You didn't go to court to challenge the law.
How do I go to court to challenge the law?
And you may win, but then nobody gets to fish it.
How do I go to court to
from
challenge
the bank
the law?
or the boat? Does that make sense?
How do I go to court to challenge the law?
It would be Travis Manson against the DNR of New York. I guess you have to hire an attorney or read a law book. I'm sure there's a YouTube video for that if you do the research.
And Brandon, I know how to catch them all over that river. I promise you. I love it. But it's the fact that I'm getting discriminated against. That's what makes me want to go there more and more and more. This isn't the end of this conversation. I'm going to find a very creative way.
I sure hope so.
To blow this place up. All right. I'm taking the whole.
I don't think you want to. You don't want to say that. You don't want to say that.
All right.
I don't think he did. That was a figure of speech.
Figure of speech.
Yeah, he just
wants
to.
Anything up. Next thing you know, next week you're going to hear about the whole dam exploding. Everyone's going to think it's me.
Oh God. Anyway, so good luck with that. You might want to try the drone first because you got a drone. You just need a claw on it, right? Remote control claw, and just drop your skein. Fly your drone back.
Hey, maybe Brandon is the angry salmon dude. Brian, you got a good point.
Join them on the bank. Oh man, you are easy to spin up, bro. You've always got something to grind. I like it. Keep you busy. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Say what?
I said, I hope you get what you want. I just hope I don't see you hanging from the cable in the New York Times one day. The angry fisherman, all 8 of those guys string you up and hang you from the cable. We'll give you your fucking cable, Manson. Wheel you out there on a cable, stuck to the cable. DNR guy saves your life with the DNR boat. Oh, thank God. Oh, man.
So the drone thing wouldn't work. I'm just saying because the rules state no fishing within 100 yards of the cable. So a drone is just going to make me present my bait to that area, but I'm still fishing. My bait's right next to the cable. So technically, it would make an epic video. And then could you imagine them coming to give me a ticket? And then, so last year, what sucked is I went with Kent for the first time there. That's when we got the ticket. I didn't have any video stuff going.
You had a phone.
I really thought I was in trouble. Like, I really didn't know the rules at the time. And when 2 of these guys show up on the bank and they're like,
come on over, bud.
And then they, you're a little intimidated. Now I wouldn't be intimidated. I have a lot more ammunition. Let me rephrase that again.
Yes, I think you want to at this point. I have a lot more information.
Information now.
Just a figure of speech, everybody. Don't get excited. What the hell? He's a
Oh,
loose
man.
cannon, everybody. That's just an expression of speech. He doesn't have a cannon. He's just a guy. Oh, holy hell, man. Well, well, well. Let's definitely not go salmon fishing there. No drama
It would
for me,
make
man.
an epic video.
Well, you'll be doing that with Kent. Do that with Kent. He's up there.
All right.
or Cole in handcuffs. That would be great. SmallmouthCrush going to jail. That'd be crazy. Cole in handcuffs, getting in the cop car, going to fish jail. You're in trouble now, boy. You can't take my son. Bail you out. Oh my gosh. It's just funny to think about little Cole getting into a cop car, pushing his head down. He ain't that tall. Is it nice shaved peach fuzz? He's a little young to be arrested. Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. That'd be better. Kind of looks
Uncle
Native
Larry's
American.
guys might be the perfect for that mission.
Yes. Oh yeah. Invite them. Oh yeah. They are all into that kind of stuff.
All right.
Let's just say they skirt the rules. Perhaps. Been known to cast over a wall or two, catch them. Yeah, man. And a king salmon's pretty cool fish to catch.
Yes. All right, guys. I got to get going. Thanks for hanging out with us. Eric, pleasure as always.
Congrats on the win, man. Next up,
Thank you.
20 boat tournament. Work your way up to like 100 boat tournament, man. You're good.
Pete, just go fishing, you poacher. Come on, Pete, man. What's wrong with Pete?
Just go. Hey, look at it. Scooter Lily in the comments, man. Showing up just on time. We're about to wrap this show up, bro.
What did Scooter say?
He said, "What's up, guys?"
Oh.
He's been catching some big bull reds. He loves you, Travis. Pete Jablowski loves you. Loves you.
Yes, yes.
All right, man. We'll work out a date, get on some big small jaws and some salmonoids. That's gonna be fun. Looking forward to it, man. Chill out on the salmon, man. You'll find some salmon downstream, dude. But
I don't need other. It's not the point. God damn.
I know it's not the point, bro. Then you got to fight it. Fight City Hall. Do it. Get yourself an attorney. Yeah, put me on the bank. I'll be casted from the bank. Filming. Here we go. I'll find out the guy. I'll be the mole. Yeah, exactly. I hate that guy in the boat. Travis Manson. What a dick. I'll go, hey, yeah, me too, man. What an asshole. I'll play right along with it, man. Get his name and information. Yeah, we should.
I don't need my truck tires slashed.
Oh, yeah, that'll be coming.
The only reason why I'm holding back, Eric, and then we'll drop this.
Yeah, thank God. Go ahead.
Is because if they understand that they have to enforce that 100-yard rule, then basically that takes away a lot of areas for people to shore fish from.
Yeah, and that'd be a real hardship on them. I got it. Just so you can have your salmon dinner.
I don't even eat them. I let them go.
I know that's the weirder part.
And I'm doing it legally too. I'm hooking them in the mouth.
Well, you're allowed to. Aren't you allowed to snag salmon?
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, only if you're Russian.
What?
Nothing. Inside joke. No, you can't snag salmon.
And they just use snag hooks. Crazy. It's all mixed up, man. What are you going to do? I mean, the salmon are going to die anyway after they spawn. But who knows if you're hooking us. Spawn. Leave those spawning fish alone anyway. What are you doing up there? Stop it. Go find the other ones downstream. Don't they spawn there?
Everywhere.
Or they're recovering there. What are they doing in that hole by the fish ladder that you're trying to fish? What are you even doing fishing a hole by a fish ladder anyway? That's weak. Fucking figure out how to catch a salmon. So they're staging, getting ready to go spawn. Stop fucking harassing them fish. Go fish someplace else.
They all are in the river. And
It sounds like they recover there. What do you mean? The fish ladder doesn't work?
No, that's my whole point too. There's no water coming out of the fish ladder.
What happened to the fish ladder?
It's not operable.
Why? What happened to it? Did you ask him about that?
Dude, he couldn't even find the rule in the book. It took him 45 minutes to even find that rule to show me.
But he did find it.
Way up on the shelf on a dusty pile of books, bud. Not even on the computer.
It was written for a reason.
Because I told him the same thing. I go, bro.
How do you know those salmon aren't walking up there at night on the fish ladder?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's when it happens, dude. So leave those fish alone, man. Go find some other fish to harass. Come on. Be a real guide. You don't need to fish that hole, man. Let those snaggers have their way and just drift. You got a boat. Right? Be a whole lot less hassle. I mean, it's going to cost you $5,000 to $10,000 to fight it.
Really?
Yeah. An attorney?
If I'm on the right side of the law and I have my facts, there's no reason for me to spend any of my money to
you
go
have to file. You have to file. Do you know anything about how court
pay
works?
money to file? Excuse me?
Don't yell at me. I didn't make the rules.
What kind of system do we accept this as right or even normal?
Hey, listen. Thanks for coming in tonight. I've heard enough on this salmon situation. I don't know for a fact that in New York State you have to pay anything. But listen, try to go to court for free first.
Yeah.
And good luck.
I'll walk in the door during my court appointed time.
Is that what you do?
My case and not have to pay anybody shit.
Okay. I like it. Listen, hopefully there's some people that know something about New York. Welcome to New York. Get your checkbook. Well, that's not why he moved up there, Eastack. He moved up there to be free. Right?
Especially if you claim to be a sovereign citizen.
Okay. That's good.
I have no ties to any government, any policies, any rules, anything that governs me. You know what really sucks, Eric? If I want to shoot my shotgun off the back porch, I found out that I have to be 500 feet away from another dwelling unless I get permission. So now I got to go knock on my neighbor's door and ask him if I can shoot a goose in my backyard. So it's up to my neighbor whether or not I can enjoy my life and my time and my land. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, why don't you buy a house in the country? What are you doing with neighbors? If you want to hunt your property, go fucking buy 20 acres in the middle of a cornfield. Right? Not the end of a cul-de-sac neighborhood. Right? I wouldn't want to hear a fucking shotgun going off in my backyard. Fuck that. I'm totally calling the cops on your ass.
You would.
Yeah, jabroni. Waking my ass up. I hear the goose call, then bang, 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 and watching my daughter see a goose fly out of the sky and have to console her because you murdered a fucking goose. Nah, ain't having
It's better than what I had to go through. My mom murdered a family of baby raccoons in front of me.
This explains a lot. We're going to
with a 22. Ping, 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 ping. It kept shooting until she was out of bullets.
What? Why?
She didn't like them getting in her garden. You know, Travis, they look real cute right now, but come October, yeah.
No hope of relocation with a have-a-heart trap?
That's what I thought.
So you've come from a lineage of cold killers.
Pretty much.
With the babies there too? Shot the mama?
She went for the babies first.
Oh, that's brutal. Man, that's country. That's
like a massacre.
That's country strong right there, bro.
They were in between two rocks. Couldn't even run. Couldn't even run.
Didn't even have a fighting chance.
Right there.
Oh, it's brutal. Somebody said that's when you develop your thirst for blood. No, so wrong. This show's starting to be upsetting. I can't do it anymore. My head is hot hearing this whole thing about the salmon and now the raccoons and the geese. I can't. I think I'm out, man. The correct language, so people make sure you're not crazy. It's we've lost control.
It always goes back to the mother.
I think we just gotta wrap it up before it goes anymore. I'm sweating. Oh, it's getting hot in here, man. It's getting hot. It's not gonna go. Are you gonna go knock on your neighbor's door with the 12 gauge? Hey, would you mind if I shot some geese tomorrow morning?
Why not?
I don't know, man. It's just, it's people think they're buying a house in a nice, quiet neighborhood. Bam! You can do geese hunt trips in your backyard.
Just when I'm out here messing around having a few beers, if I hear a goose fly over, I'd like to open the back door and go
and shoot him right out of the
sure.
sky. How close are you to your neighbor's house? I can't even remember. It's pretty close.
JP walked it off, and he claims I'm like 300 feet.
And you need to be 500.
Yeah. So maybe if I went to the furthest end of the lot, but I don't want to do that. I want to literally be working in here, hear the geese, open the back door, point my gun up in the air, and go.
That might be concerning for people that live in the neighborhood to hear a gun go off.
See, that's not growing up. We shot plenty of deer from inside the house.
It's interesting.
Legally, I believe.
I don't know if that was. Yeah, you were in a truck, and you didn't. Did you spotlight them?
No, it was during operating like normal
business operation. 9 to 5 deer. It's a 9 to 5 deer.
Now I know for a fact some of the neighbors definitely did the whole turn your back porch light on next to the deer feeder
and have a deer go, oh, boom, damn. A lot of killing going on out in Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
Woo! All right, bud. I'm tapping. This has been fun, interesting. It's some good laughs, really good tournament recap, good technique recap. Talked about a lot of interesting smallmouth stuff. You got your live scope stuff in. We know you're dedicated to it. You're going to get the saltwater one. I'm super excited to hear if that's like 5 times better.
Yeah.
Just from your perspective, like it's pretty cool that. Yeah, I'll see it. When's that purchase coming?
I got to talk to the guys. Yeah, it probably won't be till next year.
I got you. Are you getting a new boat next year? Or are you going to stick with this Camus?
Have not decided. I mean, if I do, it'll be another Camus, but
yeah, of course. It's a great boat.
It's got about 185 right now on it.
185 hours.
So
that's low.
It'll be 225 by the end of the year.
Yep.
250. We'll see yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Great boat, man. No doubt about it. Really good ride, man. I really, really liked it.
All right.
Well, good stuff, man. All right, dude. This was entertaining. You were definitely spun up tonight. I liked it. You were intense, even talking about the tournament. It was, tell them all I did, JP. I can't wait to see the video recap, man. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'll get her done.
I know. And then we'll shoot some good video when I come up, man. Let's do some interesting stuff for the viewers. Got a lot of ideas, man. We'll talk about it.
All
cool.
right.
All right, I'll call you tomorrow. All right, guys. Until next time.
See you on the water.
Peace.